pretty sure that happens after you die. I think, like you,
right? Because that's the biggest question, unanswered question, right?
yeah,
And I think that's where a lot of people, we're all in the same boat. Like one day we're all going to be alone, and we all have to deal with death, right? We're all going to die, and we're going to do it on our own. We have to face that, but we're all the same in that we share that same principle.
This is a really depressing way to start the
No,
show.
it's perfect because life and death. And I was
The death of the
watching
show.
this guy, his Book of Wisdom guy, and he was saying that Saturn is the god of time, and he's the reaper. So, and Saturn gives us. This comes from old, mysticism, like religion from back, a long time ago.
Okay.
But Saturn is like the father of time,
Greek
and
or the Roman.
yeah, I mean they all worship the planets, right? And call them gods. And
Same gods, different cultures. Yeah.
yeah. So, but Saturn pops up a lot, and there's like this 8 stars. It's like a symbol of Saturn. I think it's on our dollar bill, the back of our dollar bill. Look at, you have one on you, but
now you're talking kooky talk, and I like.
So hey, you like that? That we can get into some conspiracies. People like that. But even the word conspiracy is a conspiracy.
Take it easy.
I mean,
well, they say the CIA invented
the term conspiracy.
Yeah, conspiracy.
So, like I said, it's like, well, but people use that word a lot to disprove, like, arguments or whatever. Like, D's gonna tell me, come in and say, that's a conspiracy. Whatever I'm talking,
we're talking. What are we talking about? Life, death, conspiracy theories,
aliens, unexplained phenomena. I guess you go down the list, whatever. Yeah, we're just talking, but what do you want to talk about? We start off with sports. Last week we were
did we start with sports? That's funny.
Yeah.
I
locally I would like to talk about local sports, but basketball wise, I'm happy that Lonzo Ball came back for the Bulls.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I'm a big Lonzo fan.
Lonzo
Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, not a big Lonzo Ball.
The Ball brothers.
The Ball brothers.
They had a TV show, like their own reality show.
Their dad was kind of like a meddler, right?
He was flamboyant and flippant. And
was Lonzo the one that played for the Lakers?
Yes, he started off Lakers, and Magic Johnson endorsed him. And they were like, "Yo, you're gonna be the next."
Yeah,
it's big shoes to fill. But
I'm kind of a Lakers fan myself, and want to make sure I have the right ball we were talking about. Yeah,
that's the one. And they had a young team.
Yeah.
And then they brought LeBron on.
I'm annoyed with the whole Bronny James, LeBron James thing.
The father-son duo.
Yeah, I think nobody wants to come to the Lakers now that
he took over.
Yeah, now that everyone knows like LeBron is just going to get his way no matter what, and they're going to have this push to make Bronny like a real NBA player, like give him opportunities over other people, that might not have his pull.
Yeah, he did what, like 1 year of college basketball?
Yeah, I think so at USC.
Yeah.
And then
I didn't watch any of his games at USC, but
yeah.
he probably has a lot of bad games.
He's not like a prototypical like any certain type of.
He didn't look that great. Yeah.
Player. He's kind of
he looked fast. Maybe that was the biggest.
He had a decent preseason game when the Lakers were getting blown out a couple nights ago, and everyone's saying like, "Oh, he's good now." So we'll see.
Well, it's hard to make that transition into the NBA.
Anyways, we'll see. Lakers got a lot of problems. They got an aging LeBron James. They got Mr. Glass, Anthony Davis, who I think is a great player, but he wears street clothes more than he wears his uniform. He gets hurt so much. So this isn't the Lakers cast. I don't know how we got onto this, but it's okay.
It's kind of like a Hollywood team. I feel like it's like you come here, it's like a club for these guys, and I don't know. I'm just fan, I guess.
We'll see. A lot of
Whatever.
people like the Warriors now. The younger kids like the Warriors because of Steph Curry. And stuff
Yeah,
like that.
they kind of faded away.
They faded
little bit.
away. Now they're all onto something else.
They had a big new. They got a deal with the Chase Bank, and they had this Oracle.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's a lot of.
Get
There's a lot
those
of stuff
corporate
going on.
bucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's like okay, but
Yeah.
you know, win some basketball games in the finals.
I'm glad our
So
college.
and Draymond's always fighting with his teammates. I don't know.
He looks like
He's a good.
He just
I wouldn't want to mess with him. He looks like a gang. He probably is affiliated.
There's
There's a lot of NBA guys who are like also gangsters on the side, right?
Oh yeah,
Is that true?
there's just some people that you look at them like there's some Eastern European people and I'm not calling out specific everyone, but Draymond looks like he's got bad BO. And I'm gonna go on record saying it. He just looks like you don't want to play him. He's one of those guys that
He does his armpits.
He
are-
sweats a lot, I feel
Yeah.
like, and he's just slick. He just slide off him, and he kind of stinks a little bit. And I feel like
He has that like wife beater too that goes up to his like armpits. Yeah.
and he's always looking for an advantage. So I think he's a hustler. He doesn't want. He's competitive. So I feel like he would he would want to be.
And he's
stinky.
older too.
Yeah,
So
he's got to be a little cagier.
yeah.
Cagier vet.
But I do. He does stand for like a solid player that shows up and
Mm-hmm.
does the business,
Right.
gets it done.
Right.
So that's he's got a lot of positive
Yeah.
points too.
Warriors. They got rid of.
I don't play fantasy.
Clay Thompson or something though, right?
They did, but he after he got injured, I called it. He's not going to be the same.
Mm,
You
no, I wouldn't have minded him coming and shooting some threes for the the Lakers.
he was thinking about it. I know his dad played for them, right?
Yeah,
Thanks.
Michael Thompson.
Yeah. I'm not. I know a little bit about basketball just from being a ball brother.
Yeah, were you hooping it up in your younger days? I bet you were.
I could. I didn't stick with it though.
Out here, growing up in Hawaii, you're like
Yeah.
a center power forward, easy. Yeah.
I gravitated towards soccer and
Ah.
did a little bit of running too.
Were you a striker on the
Yeah,
soccer field? Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Midfielder,
Midfielder, lots of running forward.
wing, and
Yeah.
then Kahuku. Since it's a public school, their skills and they're known for football, so they don't have like the best soccer team. So I was like, since I was like pretty decent ball
Yeah.
handler and I've been playing soccer my whole life. I was the
Yeah.
mid center back,
Nice.
so I was like, the playmaker or
Yeah.
whatever. The
Yeah,
centerpiece.
I played basketball on the Big Island in high school, up in the country in the Big
Nice,
Island, and
nice.
so it was like, yeah,
How's it up there?
it was like-
you don't
it was
sweat
like-
that much though, right? It's cool up there.
yeah, it was easy to be a starter on that team
Yeah.
though, because there's like
You're tall
nobody-
too.
Yeah, there was a guy that was my size too, so like I got to.
Who did you guys play against? Just like
We played against everyone. We played against like
Yeah.
Waikea and Konawaina, and
who was the toughest like adversaries to face?
well,
there?
when I was there, it was
Was it the
Gila,
Kohala
and
kids? Hilo.
yeah, Gila won the state championship the year.
Oh,
Yeah, my
yeah.
senior year. So
What about those?
they were good.
What'd you say? Kula or not?
Konawaina.
Konawaina, is that Kohala side?
No, that's like Kona.
Oh,
like,
Kona.
Yeah, more south.
What about the Kohala side kids? Did they have a best?
Kohala? Yeah, they had a basketball team.
I bet they had some parties.
I'm
They're
sure
party.
they did. I'm sure they did.
I wonder what it'd be like on that basketball
I
team.
did party with some of the Honakawa basketball player guys. We
Oh, my
yeah.
God. Oh, is that on the other side? On the way to
Yeah, that's the way.
Waimea?
Yeah,
From the other
from
side? From Hilo
Waimea,
side?
if you're heading towards like Lapahoe and then Hilo side.
Mhm.
Lapa hoi hoi.
I like that side too.
It's nice.
Oh, we got
It's-
Skillet in the building.
Yeah.
Skillet's here.
Skills
He's
is in
gonna
the
be
house.
our third guest. Johnny couldn't make it. He will call in, but we got our guy Skillet in here, and he's also a 9, like Johnny, a 9 life path. So we can only have 1 9 in the building at one time.
He's our resident Chinese expert
Advisor.
Yeah. He actually should be doing work with the renowned East-West Center here.
Oh yeah,
The East-West
nice
Center.
East-West
I'll give
Center.
them a shout out here on K2H doing wonderful work connecting cultures. And that's what Skillet does. He bridges
That's what
the
Skillet
gap.
does.
He bridges the gap between Waikiki
Between the East and the West.
Waikiki street rats and China.
Skillet did grow up in
Just kidding.
the Waikiki streets.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
the wall rats. I think that's what you're referring to.
He's another tall boy who could have played center, but he was too into skateboarding. You were too, James, right? Were you a skateboarder there?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just getting this record on the thing. You know, and
Yeah.
Oh,
Skillet, I
yeah,
want you
that's
to get on here so you can brag about yourself here, but no, you're not getting on the mic.
You want to get on, Skillet?
Mhm.
This is how Skillet talks like that.
Yeah. Skillet. Sorry, Skillet has a speech impediment, so he's trying to.
He's actually a bird.
He's smart bird. He's the 6-foot bird.
He is.
Yeah. All
I
right.
heard he's sponsored too for longboarding.
Yeah,
he's-
he's sponsored in China.
He's giving it back to all those Queens longboarder
Mm-hmm.
guys that they're all pro out there,
He's big in China.
and they don't give him waves.
Yeah. He's got
Waves in China though.
yeah,
All the waves he wants.
all to himself. All to
He's like a
himself.
god over there.
Yeah.
I feel like he's like endless summer, like surfing in China, like that wave still riding that endless summer wave.
Yeah. In a weird way, we've come back to life and death because I know Skillet's got a good China surfing
He
drowning
does. Maybe
story.
you can share with us later.
And if you would bless us with that story.
Because I know you had a trouble, that kind of story kind of haunted you, but you did come see the power of talking about, traumas in our past and, radio as therapy.
Yeah.
Like, give us a chance to share our traumas or whatever stories with you so that we can cleanse ourselves.
Because I have my own drowning story that I've shared as, a guy drowned in my pool. And, and you were telling me that they tried to save it the same way Skillet saved his drowning victim. So,
Did I try the new way? The new way that Dave was proposing was you hang them upside down
by the ankles.
by the ankles,
and you hit their head on the ground a few times.
and get that water out.
You get the change. You get the change that comes out of their pockets, and then you initiate the CPR, the life-saving breath, the ha.
everything must be accounted for.
Yeah,
The change.
but
I'm a hesitator though. I people that know me know I think about things like for a long time, and then when I actually go, like I can't stop. Like I literally, if I did do CPR on somebody, like I might not stop. You couldn't pull me away hours because like I couldn't wake up from that like that weird reality. Yeah.
Right?
would you
So what happened with
the Chinese?
Yeah,
you guys went straight into
you
it.
were surfing, or
There's a little swell. This spot named Shanwei has a nice little. It sticks out a lot, like a little finger.
Shanwei.
Like, Shanwei. Yeah,
Shanwei.
near like Hong Kong and Shenzhen and Guangzhou, and
There's a parking lot.
it's always a
there's
little bigger.
showers
It's like Sandy's. It's always a little bigger
than it is
than the other spots.
another spot.
Yeah. But
So
this
pools.
day maybe it was like almost head high. Like and I was out there early because I was like I wanted to get on it, and then because the wind, it's out there. The waves aren't like here. We're really lucky that it's like consistent out here and chill and beautiful, and like it's out there. It's a lot of ocean conditions. So this day was good offshore, and then went out there, these like kids drove in the like one of the Chinese Olympic surfing teams.
Oh, like a van of them?
Yeah, like a van, like 20 of them.
Okay.
A van
I
of
know
Chinese
there's-
Junior Olympics.
Were they the Chinese people are really loud? I saw these Chinese tourists out at the lookout at Diamond Head the other day.
Yeah.
In the morning, just to do a little wave check, drink a little coffee.
Yeah.
We had a little McDonald's sausage biscuit
Ooh, yeah.
without cheese.
Yeah.
That's
good.
And well, I'm not, Mick, whatever.
Yeah.
We were talking about diet last week, but I did a little breakfast. I did the Dave way.
See?
Yeah.
No, now your body knows what to feed off. It says, I'm going to attack this food all day. I
Yeah.
got all day to
I
work
did-
on it.
Not fall asleep.
You need
I was almost about to fall asleep, but I just kept on drinking more coffee. And
Yeah.
I got through the day.
You get to
Anyways, going back on to Skillet's story.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Chinese.
One of the
and
one
about-
that goes, I wanted to add
Oh, wait, the Chinese, they were loud at that lookout.
They're
I forgot.
loud,
And they were like, the guy was yelling, and I thought it was kind of cool because it was like, who's he yelling at? There's somebody down the cliff.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's like,
you'll be
there's
in a
someone in the
restaurant,
water. Like,
Dude, they're on
what's going on?
They'll be on their phone, and you're like,
He was like the
There's a scrap going
patriarch,
on.
like the old, like the biggest, like Chinese guy in the group. He was probably like the Don.
you know what? I love it. Whatever they do, it's
Yeah.
good. Sometimes it's a little bit much for what we're used to, but
I like
just
it.
love
I like to hear how loud they were.
yelling
Like, they're more
in your
vocal.
ear. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
I
lot
was
of,
like, seems like you got a little bit of passion. I'm like,
you don't know.
hey.
The Latinos can be like that too. Sometimes you don't know. Like, are they fighting? Are they
Yeah.
pros? Are
No,
they
they're
talking?
just-
Yeah, it's
that's just how they
it's
express
intense.
them.
Yeah, dude, it's intense. Anyway, let's get back to the story.
Yeah, back
One
to
of the
China.
girls actually was in the Olympics at
Mhm.
Chopu, like almost
Whoa.
dying.
What's her name? Oh, you don't know. Never mind. Don't even ask bad
Schwan,
names.
yeah. I've met her
Yes.
before. She's maybe 17. And I mean, these kids, it's so inspiring. Like, they're so into surfing. Like, they're
Yeah.
living for it. Anyway, they pull up. So I go a couple spots over.
Yeah.
Because, like, I don't want to.
Another break over.
I'm longboarding, and it's a tight wave. Like, it's almost like
It's
a
not the
short
best
break.
for longboarding, huh?
No, but like you can get good nose riding sections where you can get all
gotta
around
time
10 toes, maybe
Yeah.
even 15.
It sounds
Yeah.
like cliffs, like Diamond Head Cliffs, but like a short break.
a short break. It's almost
Yeah,
a
but-
short break out there. But,
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah. So I like we're just surfing, and I'm with a couple of homies. My guys.
Couple Chinese homies.
Yeah, a couple of Chinese. I think Chow and Meng. No, I'm just kidding. They got American names. Mo, actually, one guy's name is Mo.
Okay.
He's like,
No.
yeah, I love The Simpsons. It's my favorite. Mo,
Yeah.
you know Mo? I'm like, yeah, of course I know Mo.
You know they're redoing The Simpsons, right? You saw that?
Yeah. Anyway, my story, dude. Let's stick on that.
The
I'm
live.
kidding.
No, but
No,
the
you're
live
right. I
version,
wanna
you
see
that?
it, yeah.
Adam Sandler, Homer.
Anything but
Who was
Moana.
Mo? Who was
Anything
Mo?
but
Yeah.
Moana. I'll watch.
Dude, who's playing Mo? I forget.
Probably one of those New York comics. I
It was
imagine.
somebody. It was,
Hank Azaria.
Anywho, I'll just get through this quick. So you guys
nah,
can-
this is the best way. I always
Yeah.
break it up. I don't
We're
want
gonna
to tell the
We're
story.
here for hours. Yeah.
Keep me edging. Scott.
Yeah, it's
That's
So
what
I keep looking
we
over.
like to draw it out.
We like to draw it out. We
Draw it
gotta
out around here.
slow it down
You
a little
know,
bit.
like Hawaii, growing up in
It's not like you're in a
Hawaii.
rush
Down
to tell
the
the story.
pace.
Because I know we're not going to get to it. I know. I'm
Down
just going to be
the
talking in
pace.
circles, dude. We've been talking in circles.
Cool down the pace.
Yeah.
Cool down, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bobsled.
that a good pace, man.
You're making me forget
that was the Harry Potter guy. Yeah?
That's a
Was
good one.
the Harry Potter driver that picks him up on the bus with a Midnight Express bus that comes and rescues him. Anyways,
Yeah.
getting back to the
Okay,
story.
Chinese.
China.
Yeah, so surfing early,
The
the
girl.
kids show up, they're
Yeah.
surfing, and there's no one around. This is like a small little village surf town.
Mhm.
It's cute, really cute,
It's
and
really cute.
quaint.
Yeah.
Quaint.
I know.
It's a little quaint.
It's got a country feel.
A quaint Chinese village.
It's a fishing
surf
village. It's
a
it-
fishing
yeah, and there's like a nuclear power plant, I think, and some windmills and stuff. Anyways,
yeah.
Yeah.
so yeah,
Couple
like
nukes in the back.
I look over. It's better over there. I know the other spot's better because the tide. And I look over, and then I kind of see the pack break. And then I see kind of like these motions, like CP, stuff like that. Well, I just see kind of disturbance on the water for a good 5 or 10
Mhm.
minutes, and I'm like, that's just weird. And it's often there. You'll see like TV shows and like photo shoots, fashion shoots going on, and it's weird girls acting scantily, and I'm just like, whatever's going on. And then I see these motions, like it looks like chest pumping, and I'm like, whoa, I'm gonna run over there and just check.
Mhm.
just because like here, like growing up here, like you see somebody in need, like you're gonna give aid immediately.
Right.
Yeah. So I ran over, and the kids, I guess, dragged these two guys in that somehow came out in the morning and just thought they're gonna. The kids brought them in. They're all crying. There's a couple of farmers and maybe fishermen, like trying to do some kind of weird 18th century medieval. Dude, in the stomach, like
just like rubbing their chest really hard.
And these guys are blue, and I'm just like, man, like, and I know. I'm not like CPR trained, but like I know enough where I could get in there and put some work in.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know the odds and all that are kind of slim, but like I know I can put some work in, and I don't have my phone, so I can't. I know some Chinese, but like translating this scenario, studied anything,
Right.
Forget about like this. Yeah, forget about it. So.
Yeah.
And then, like in the back of my mind, like some really wise wisdom I've received there is just like don't touch people. If anything, accident, like car accident, or if you're like
You wanted to touch him though, right?
not in an appropriate way, but like actually trying to save his life. But like they wouldn't. The point is they wouldn't let me. These guys wouldn't let me because first of all, I'm a foreigner.
You felt awkward about that. Like you want to rescue, help this kid.
It's frustrating, dude.
And
the kids are
they're not
crying.
letting
The
you.
surf kids are sitting like 10 of them are right there just crying, like bawling out, seeing these two dudes there dead.
Yeah.
So were these one of the surf team kids, or
No,
just separate,
these are just some
random dudes
They were probably there drinking
in the
at a
parking lot?
karaoke nearby, and they drank all night, and they came because there was
It was in the morning.
like 7 a.m.
Did they still have to close?
Most of the time, they usually still like to do that because it's just like nobody cares, dude. They'll just get naked. They'll just drop trowel if
they had their way.
Yeah, Chinese style. You don't need much if you're committed to the water. But yeah, anyway, they wouldn't let me work on them, and I was like, whoa, and it was just such a weird. Like I walked away about 10 feet, and then I turned around and walked back about 10 feet, and then I walked away. Like I couldn't, and I was just, it's just the culture and the
or maybe it's the laws. Like out here we have like
especially since you're a foreigner.
Well, it's a spiritual law too. They don't want foreigners really touching dead bodies. That's what the guy told me. The words he said to me, I was like, touch. I know touch. I can't think of it now. I'm on the spot, but it's kind of like, touch the dead. And basically, and I'm like,
he was telling the police officers that
they're pointing at me later on. I came back later on, the cops and everybody, the ambulance, because the ambulance in China will show up about 30 or 40 minutes because it's not on the highway. They're not like, woo, get out of my way.
Yeah.
The siren's going, and it's like they're going at traffic speed. And it's just it's not the same insurance or the liability. I really don't know.
Yeah, there's certain laws like even here about helping people. Like sometimes the ambulance, if you try to work on someone, they won't declare them dead already, but they'll
the sign off,
critical condition or something like that. So. It's to protect good Samaritans that try to save people, but who knows? They might not have that in China or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, because you'll be surprised. A lot of people are always, I'm challenged all the time about my time in China. A lot of people think I'm some kind of, member of the party there and all that. I just have family, blood in the game, and I have time. I have years already, so it's like I might as well just try to keep my head forward and just focus.
Could you imagine though? I was just thinking that I was just thinking about that. Okay, so you end up touching some drowned Chinese guy, and the villagers get mad at you and point at you.
No, the guy
and the cops. What if the cops came and freaking arrested you?
This is exactly.
What if you?
I can tell you exactly.
You should have just got the hell out of there.
No, I did. Of course, that's what I had to do.
Next time someone dies next to you in China, just leave.
It was
don't even stick around.
And that is my point.
Scary.
The peel away. I couldn't peel myself away because I knew. No, this is exactly what happened. Is that I would be probably not really arrested, but I would be processed.
Detained.
Okay, and I would be I would have to pay the family probably about $100,000 if I actually, because they would actually partially hold me responsible for the death if I commit some sort of treatment.
If you interfered,
And it doesn't work, and he dies. So
or maybe if you touch them with your dirty white hands, they'd have a civil lawsuit against.
I mean, there's a little of that too.
foreigner hands. No, well, that was part of it.
A lot of
right?
people want me to touch them for luck, though, for my hands. So it goes both ways.
It
you
does
know?
go both ways.
Yeah,
it does.
But I mean,
Always. We live in a dual life. It's life and death. It's,
Yeah,
there's always two.
It always circles back to life and death.
Yeah.
But yeah, next
The
time.
yin and yang.
Yeah,
The
what's
sun
happening
and the
next
moon.
time?
So next time someone dies, if someone ever dies, the lesson is if someone dies next to you in China,
Dave learned a lesson too. He actually got certified after
we
he
heard your story.
learned his lesson. Yeah.
And he has,
There's that a point though? Is that are you certified to do?
Well, with the
CPR
surf community now, I'm definitely going to spend some of my time bringing some of our Hawaiian watermen, the Hawaii Water Patrol, and all and CPR 90.1, 90.9, and somewhere else.
Well,
He was whispering. Why are you whispering?
I cut off both you guys. Whose point is more important? But both of you guys can give your point. But
well, I think the point of the thing is.
But you said lifeguard and.
No, that's fine. No, I was interested in that. Yeah,
yeah.
You're gonna bring life.
If you're like out there hot dogging, wakeboarding, surfing, like whatever you're doing on the water, you should probably think about
CPR.
some sort of training.
Well, did you hear what happened with there was some tourists that drowned on the North Shore?
And that boy, the Kamehameha student that went missing
let's
the other
talk
day.
about local
They found
sports.
him.
And I was right there again. It's so weird. I'm everywhere for everything except
did find him, thankfully.
actually
They found him.
being a good friend to people. I'm actually at these events like while they're happening.
Yeah, you live right there, right?
Well, we were there trying to film
See, we found
the meteor.
The Chinese villagers knew he's a serial killer.
I am.
No, well, so that local sports paddling team, Kamehameha paddling team, lost one of their kayakers.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's not a kayaker; it's a canoe, the single hull canoe with the outrigger, right?
No, kayak.
I think it had an outrigger.
No, they're just the kayak kids. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
is it the kayak kids?
Yeah.
I thought he was hanging on to something.
Well, yeah, he lost his paddle and somehow.
They said something.
He lost his paddle.
It capsized.
I don't know.
Oh, you hear me? He's got long legs.
Did you
Watch
just that
out.
vibrate through the radio?
Yeah, you can hear it all.
Dude, the
it's
universe. That was my knee. It hurts. That's a Charlie horse on my kneecap.
Yeah.
But no, this was like a pretty crazy, lucky little.
He hung on overnight, and
I sail that area so well. I have a little trimaran, like a Hobie Cat trimaran, and I for like a year, I parked it right by the shower at Bowls. It was awesome, and I would hit that spot. And it's so much fun because the waves, like you have a lot of wind waves. It's almost like a little taste of the ocean, but like right there offshore. It's such a fun little area. Good wind waves, and then you can just get spat out by like Kaimana Beach in that area. And if you canoe, if you paddle, like you go out there and back, turn around and come back, and it's this kid just got separated from the pack, and
he capsized because what happened was the
should we be
winds.
funny? Are we not
Wait, hold
funny
on, hold
enough? Can you call in and tell us if we need to be more funny?
Let me explain this. Yes, good stuff. So what happened was the wind picked up really mucho gusto, and the kayak capsized. It flipped over, and then it was dark, or because it gets dark early now, right? 6:30 before 6:30. So they just didn't see him, and then he ended up having to just hold on for the whole night. And I don't know where those currents take you, but they said he was kind of like outside of the natatorium, like outside of Duke.
They said that it was a combination of him trying to swim back to
stay,
shore,
and
one of the people searching for them knew the currents.
They had an airplane,
they knew
overhead.
the currents really well, so they knew they were going to.
And they also have thermal vision, I think, cameras.
Well, we were there because the boys, those brave men at HFD that actually
showed up.
board the HFD helicopter, the yellow one, the MD 500,
the helicopter,
the tailless One
Yeah.
with no tail rotor.
No,
Yeah, that one. I mean, it's an amazing bird for sure. They pick up the water guys right on the rocks at Bulls at the paddle out right there on that jetty.
Okay.
The helicopter lands on the jetty on those rocks.
Oh yeah.
The guys board and then they go. I've seen it twice because my boat was there. I'd work on it sometimes, and I saw it is these
So
guys.
what happened is they shot off a flare once they spotted him.
But they didn't spot him. Nobody's.
No, they did spot him.
Not
They
really.
spotted him in the morning, like 3 a.m.
But this was like
4
8
a.m.
p.m. This was
No,
like
no, I'm
7
talking
p.m. the
about
night before. Yeah,
later on
yeah.
in the night, in the early morning,
Yeah.
they spotted him. They shot a flare where that position was, where they saw him, and then another boat, a vessel, just like a privateer,
civilian vessel.
yes,
Yeah.
civilian vessel fisherman,
Yeah.
saw the flare and found him, and he was like,
Yeah.
he was, not hoping for the worst, but expecting the worst. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
he's probably witnessed people, getting lost at sea.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. It happens a lot here.
Mm-hmm.
And so once he saw his head,
Dude, we have them all
popped up on the
back to China. So this is the thing, there is
silhouette of his head on that boat breaking, that whole line.
No,
You see
yeah.
another little bump. He's probably, and he's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
like it's pretty
there
amazing.
he is.
We
Yeah.
have these
Like-
highly trained small army of life,
Mhm.
like life watermen, like people that are trained in all facets, not just lifeguards,
It's like
but,
Coast Guard
everything.
and everything.
And
yeah.
these guys, so we can basically go out in the water, do whatever we want, act as foolish as we want, and these guys will come and find us. But
But they don't want to just they work hard and they have to risk their lives every day.
I know,
So,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
they're actually sending out more mess, to the people, the tourists. They need to do a better job of warning them. Of
Yeah,
the
That's
well, they
been
put
a lot of
waters here.
messaging lately.
Dude,
Yeah.
So
These
they're
guys
gonna have to
boarding the
back that up
helicopter,
now,
dude. This
for
whole
sure.
scenario, these guys just boarding this helicopter on those rocks. I'm telling you, is probably the most dangerous part of anything that happened that
it's
night.
So cool, yeah.
It's. I mean, if anything happened and that
I
helicopter went down,
love how people can be so skilled at their jobs and make it look so cool, right? That's
Yeah. Well, that's like the cool part of paying taxes. It's like
I think that's the only. That's the only cool part.
I want to see
They probably
my
paid
tax
really well.
dollars at work, and when I see you can do things, Yeah.
That might be the only value in our tax money right there, that's consistent and can't fail because the roads fail often, but this can't, and these guys are the best of the best.
Yeah, if you want to make money in this world, be a paver, because that will be a never-ending job.
For sure, or buy some paving equipment, definitely, man. You know,
buy some paving.
those
have your own
big
company.
rigs, those super big rigs.
We
that
have
you-
a friend actually who does it. His name is Art. No, I can't say his name.
It just doesn't
Ray,
matter.
let's
We have
call
a
him
friend
Ray.
who does that.
Yeah. All right. My bad.
Let's not.
But yeah, the equipment. I think also, yeah,
But you got to get your own equipment. And
Yeah.
what did we say about equipment and hobbies? Huh? It's just material. Everything in this world is material.
All right, don't start down this road.
Okay.
We've
All right, we're gonna get there.
we've
though.
rambled for.
All right, I'm gonna go to some music, and we probably have a break coming up,
Yeah.
but
We're gonna
we
get
have 5
into-
minutes
yeah.
left, and then we'll be back. We'll be back with some more interesting topics for y'all on your Saturday night in the Bro Shack.
Bro,
What was it, Bro Shack?
I don't know.
I had some ideas. It doesn't ring as much, right?
Jimmy Crow and the Bros.
Just straight bros, right?
Yeah, no Shack.
No
There's
Shack.
no
Because
Shack.
you can hear me it's not as cool, right?
No, it's not as cool.
I can't say it as good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I have this pause. I'm like,
bros,
Shack.
bros, bros. Shack.
What kind of
Yeah,
Shack?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
How about just the
No.
last radio show ever? Because that's pretty much where we're headed right now in the world.
That's
Take it
not
easy,
be
Dr.
depressing. Well, we talked about it. We can talk about more
this
about
is why you
depression
were
and mental-
depressed last time you
mental
talked to
illness.
Scud.
Why do you guys say I'm depressed? I'm not depressed.
you're sick.
Suffering
Yeah.
from jet lag.
Yeah, you
I
want
was
to bring
being
up
in
stuff
between.
about last show? Let's bring up stuff about last show.
I wasn't
How you
even
guys
here.
freaking
We went on
fat for a
we're
half
calling it
hour.
Fat for an hour,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I
was
went home.
Dawn.
I went home and my wife is like, God, everyone listening must just think you're like disgustingly fat, like
That's
hideous
the joke.
beast. And I'm like, yeah,
That's
I'm
what
like,
makes it
screw
funny,
these guys.
No, well,
Don did say that you're
Donnie
not.
Dorner.
Tonight he's cool D though. Before, if he's listening tonight, you're
Cool
cool
D.
D. Okay, you're not Dom D tonight.
I'm calling him Itchy D. This is itching me.
Yeah.
But I want to end. So there's that. I
Mhm.
want to call out your
Okay,
weird
okay.
obsession with talking about that. And you had a weird obsession. You kept
Mhm.
telling me, Dave, I want to see you get in good shape. You're telling me you do.
It's
You
a
do.
bit. I mean,
You
it's a-
want to see me get in
I
shape.
do
don't
actually.
you?
We should all
I
get
do. I
ripped,
kinda
dude.
do.
Let's
We
all
should-
just get.
should we-
I was
fucking
watching
ripped,
these old
dude.
kung fu, like
Just
these
ripped.
old people in China, dude, doing kung fu and they're,
China,
like banging their heads on like metal poles and just being like so tough, that
Yeah.
just condition and like conditioning
Yeah.
themselves for like the worst.
I'd love to be like tongue pull and just kick like a
Yeah,
pillar
and like
or
1
tree.
inch punch like a tree and make
Yeah.
holes in it, like in
Yeah.
the bark, just shredded.
See,
Just shred all the tree barks in the Honolulu. Sorry, guys.
Just start. Yeah.
I'm
just start.
mad at. Sorry, Honolulu.
Shut up, Jane.
You guys got to move the Foshan. That's like Bruce Lee's like
Foshan?
Foshan.
Oh,
It's in between
Foshan.
Guangzhou and Shenzhen. It's a little. It's actually a great.
Dude, let's go to China and do some kung fu training, Dave.
There's the Bruce Lee
Yeah.
Museum, and there's
See,
and then
like-
also the outside of Shanghai. There's the Wu Mountains.
I'm not doing
And
kung
there's-
fu skill. I'm not
Oh,
going
yeah.
to China and learning kung fu.
Dude, do you remember that movie American Ninja? Or
Documentary of Dave.
you remember that movie? Did you
I
see
love the
American
movie
Ninja?
American Ninja. There's a
Dude,
great
you're gonna be
movie.
like him,
No.
like kung fu.
No.
Or style. He was doing like all kinds of like,
I'd be more like
ninjutsu.
Steven Seagal doing Aikido.
but hey, that was a classic movie though, right?
You could wear that hat backwards. You know the one that
Seagal wears.
you know it's like not what's this kind of jazzy hat.
Seagal
that
wears
goes
that
backwards. Another one in
Oh, the little cap.
yeah, and
But
it's
it's
like,
like-
backward,
it's
and it's
like,
like is it Kango? Yeah, I think it's a Kango
Little
hat. Backwards,
Kangol hats.
backwards though, and also
Yeah.
in not what's the brown? What's the movie? Samuel Jackson. In
Boogie- no,
Jackie Brown.
Jackson.
Jackie Brown.
Jackie.
He wears the hat too, backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave, that would be a hot look. What is that hat? Can somebody call in and tell us what that hat is?
It is. It's like a Kango hat.
Google
backwards,
this
I
over
think.
here.
Yeah, it's got a little.
But dude-
I think I know you're saying the fedora.
Is
that
that
what you're talking
fedora?
about?
It's not a fedora.
It's not.
You
a
know what I'm
fedora.
talking about, though, right?
No, but it's kind of like that, right? It has that little brim to it, but it's.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, we gotta go to a
Anyway,
break.
Dave, it's not about you.
We're going to a quick break.
Gravity,
and
the gravity of the
stay
room.
tuned.
Everyone just wants to put hats on me and
Yeah.
get me in shape. Put cute little hats on me.
Yeah, he's great.
This is by
Dave's in
far
some
the
great
gayest
shape.
radio
It might
show
be
of
some
all
great
time.
shape. It might be the best shape ever of a man in his prime.
Don't have a radio?
I'm not getting
Yeah.
sick on my beeper.
You can always stream us live at ktuh.org.
I'm listening.
There's no monthly subscription to skip the commercials. We just don't play them.
The sound of that.
We're KTUH FM, Honolulu.
No commercials! No mercy!
The KTUH 2024 Fall Radiothon has ended, and we are pleased to announce that we have reached our goal of $15,000. Now we are able to improve our remote broadcast equipment and DJ event equipment. This allows us to take our tunes outside and have even more fun and improved outdoor events. Thank you all for your support and helping us keep college radio loud and clear.
Our democracy is a government for the people. Vote this November. Get registered and learn your polling places at vote.gov. That is vote.gov. Cast your vote. It's that simple. This is a public service announcement from KTUH.
Exploring science in the sea. There are lots of ways for a fish to attract its prey. The batfish uses two ways. It dangles a lure over its head, which pulls the prey in close. It then squirts a fluid into the water that completes the job. It pulls the prey close enough for the batfish to grab it. Batfish, also known as sea bats, are odd little creatures. They have wide, flat bodies. Seen from above, they can resemble garden spades or pancakes. They're fairly small, and they live on the bottom of warm oceans and seas around the world. Batfish are terrible swimmers. but some of their fins act like legs, so the fish amble across the bottom. Their gait resembles that of a bat walking on its elbows, hence the name. Batfish are a type of anglerfish. Most anglerfish have a lure on their heads. Many of those lures glow. As the anglerfish swims along, the lure sways back and forth, catching the attention of possible prey. The lures of batfish are different. For one thing, the batfish can reel in the lure, storing it out of sight. And for another, the lure doesn't glow. Instead, it's shaped like something the batfish's prey might like to eat. That pulls the prey close. The fluid finishes the job, attracting shrimp, crabs, snails, and small fish. There are about 60 species of batfish, including the polka dot batfish, the pancake batfish, which looks like a pancake with legs, and the red-lipped batfish, which looks like it's wearing clown makeup. All of them ambling across the bottom of the sea. For the University of Texas Marine Science Institute at Port Aransas, I'm Holly Brawley.
K2H Campus Events Calendars.
The UH Department of Art and Art History presents The Art Gallery, a 4,400 square foot space exhibiting contemporary works by local and international artists. Programming for exhibitions includes lectures by artists and scholars, symposia, films, and tours. In addition to showcasing works of the BFA and MFA programs, the Art Gallery also organizes traveling exhibitions, many of which have been presented at more than 100 museums in the US, Mexico, Canada, Japan, Taiwan, and Guam. The Art Gallery is located on campus at 2535 McCarthy Mall. For directions, parking locations, and information about exhibitions and events, you can visit hawaii.edu/art.
K2H Campus Events Calendars.
For the University of Hawaii at Manoa campus news, go to www.kaleo.org.
Stay tuned in the next hour for the concert events calendars.
Welcome back to Jim Crow and the Bros, right here, K2H FM. You're listening to Talking Heads right now. Overlord on your K2H dial 90.1, 91.1 on the North Shore. Worldwide, K2H.org, and streaming. We're streaming.
Terrible signal. To even recognize gentle collapsing, the removal of the insides. I'm touched by your I value these moments. All that we realize in someone's eyes. Frequent returning, leaving unnoticed, unconditional condition of mercy, a change in the weather, a view to remember. The center is missing. They question how the future lies in someone's eyes. Gentle collapsing, however resurface, travel on the quiet road, the overload.
Shadows of the night, all silent. Echo of the past, calling you to me. Haunting memory, veiled in misty glow. Phantom melody, playing soft and low. In this world that we know now, life is here, then gone. But somewhere in the afterglow, love lives on and on. Dreams of long ago meet in rendezvous. Shadows of the night, calling me to you. Calling me to you.
Welcome back. Jimmy Crow and the Bros. Right here, 9 to 12 a.m. This is the music. You get you into the little.
Liking it. I really love this stuff. Yeah. This exotica jazz, like old jazz.
Dark Shadows.
Martin
the
Denny.
Robert Colbert.
Well, I know you like
featuring Jonathan.
Yeah, some of the stuff you were playing before, I was gonna say like I definitely have a, even though it's not
Clinton.
like my collection forte for some of my like kind of
It's an old movie, ABC movie.
some of my film
TV.
projects. I
TV show.
definitely like.
Did not grow in up in that era.
Old
I
jazz.
like the last song better. It reminded me of this is due a little bit, but that new show Fallout.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
The
No.
TV show, and yeah,
That old time, and they do have a lot of music sound bites in that game.
yeah.
I noticed.
Oh, did you play the game?
I dabbled a little.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. I didn't
And
play it
then-
very long. I wasn't
yeah.
very good at it, so I stopped.
It takes a lot of time
It
to get
takes a
into.
lot of time, and I was like, oh, I don't have time for this.
Yeah, yeah.
But the show is actually pretty
The show is better, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably digestible, but I'll get to it one day. I'll get to it. I don't think I have Hulu anymore, so I don't like talking about these big companies.
good.
But
Well, it's hard to
I didn't
find.
mention any of those.
I do.
It's hard to find good like entertainment right now. You know, like a lot of this stuff is like heavily corporatized, or just it's been like given so much money and like manpower that it just becomes like, what is it? You know, like it loses the singular like soul.
Yeah,
art form,
there's a lot of
you
soul
know?
missing in a lot of the stuff now, and because the streaming webs, corporations like Netflix and Hulu.
Well, even the studios
They're-
from in the past. I
You say you
mean,
don't like
I don't like mentioning
let's
them.
just mention
I
them
keep
again.
mentioning them.
No, but even
All of the
Universal,
Well, there used to
MGM,
be more. There used to be more
It's the
passion.
same thing.
No, there used to be more passion projects that got made. Nowadays, they don't have enough money for it, and because the attention is people's attentions is being bought out everywhere, all these other places. So the streaming sites are where it's at now.
Well, I could tell you what it is too. Actually, is
but
that
the streaming people,
they used to use the same directors.
they want to just use
like
formula. They just want to make money.
100 years ago, they would just use the same like 5 directors. Now it seems like for every project made,
Mhm.
there's like another new
That's the way it used
director.
to
They
be,
have to
this.
have like a new name.
The
and a
studio
new
used to be
person.
like when Hollywood started. It used to be one studio, and they had all the sets there, and they had one director.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Everybody. And
It's
they
hard
would
for
just
somebody
make a
now-
bunch all really quick.
Like you couldn't have. It's hard to have like a Quentin Tarantino now because there's
was
just
kinda like a
there's
factory.
too many guys. You got to just like stick with the guy, let him carry out his whole like genre and his whole thought. Just let him put it out there. 10 films, 20 films, whatever. Not just like a new guy, a new guy, a new guy, a new guy.
There's
You
a
know?
new writer and a new director every episode of a TV show now.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend about this.
But then the good ones they do bring back though, so they do get more.
And then they suck.
But a lot of
Well, they shouldn't if they bring it back. It was because they probably did a good job and the ratings were better.
writers these days, they'll write, usually you don't blow your whole wad on the first season. You'll let
Yeah.
something build
There
till
is.
the second season. But now, like, there's so much pressure on the writers to make something entertaining to the masses that to get them that second season picked up. That it's harder to write a good story arc because you're blowing your whole wad on
Hallelujah,
season
Dave.
one.
You speak it. Speak it.
So it's just it's watering down all kinds of
Yeah, they
entertainment.
dilute because they want to, they're trying to profit off of it.
Yeah, give the money to us. I mean, give the money to us. We'll sit in a room at a Ritz-Carlton for a couple weeks. We'll write a screenplay and we'll make your movie.
They're realizing they're like, there's not a lot of money out there, even though they keep on printing all this money. But these guys now they're doing like a bunch of budget cuts, and it's even strangling out all the little guys.
And you got to be able to sell it to China, right? So there's also that.
Yeah, there's also foreign
Well, we fail at
syndication.
that.
There's censorship on all that. Well, why do you think Top Gun Maverick didn't have an enemy? An enemy country, right? Because they need to sell that movie to China.
But even the
So they're not gonna like.
Yeah,
obviously, it would be like Iran or China,
Right.
or some.
They did say it was like a MiG fighter jet. Yeah,
Yeah,
so you're up
it-
against a MiG.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
These
any
guys are
country
bad.
wants to like sell. Only America
How
would.
bad are they?
Only America
Who are
would
they?
sell a movie.
I don't trust these guys, but
Yeah.
it's like, are they like what? I would like to know. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you want that detail, that little extra.
Yeah,
It's
like, who are these? Is it Russia? Is it China?
They
Yeah.
can
Put
really
a-
say they're all the
Put a
same.
face on
actually.
them so that someone
Put a
hates.
face.
Yeah, well, that's what sucks. I feel so bad for the world because that's just all we've done, and we've kind of created. So the money you're talking about, the money printer. The money printer kind of feeds into Hollywood. You
It
know?
does. It's supposed to, but look, they're making budget cuts, and it's not as juicy as it once.
I know
was.
we're hungry out here.
And now they're trying to sell people's their face identity, not even pay the actors. Just
Well, they
record their
kind of deserve it,
likeliness
man.
and
A lot of
have
those
it
guys aren't really
AI
worth
forever.
the-
You know, but they do get paid a lot, though. You're right. You know,
If
they get paid the most out of everybody.
Now,
on the set.
the influencer is stealing the budget. These guys, these little mini storytellers, are like stealing the budget of Hollywood, and that's the biggest fear. The TikTokers, the YouTubers, the
live
Instagrammers.
streamers.
Yeah, dude.
They get deals too now. They get
The public
yeah.
should decide. You know, whatever
That's
they
true,
want.
yeah,
Like,
public will
people
decide.
people vote with their money, so you know that's what's gonna happen.
And if you have a good story and nobody will fund you, if you can go out there and hustle up $1 million, like you can make a decent project. I mean, it goes both ways. I'm about to like just not buy a house for my family and spend the money on a movie.
Nah,
just to like gamble. But if it pays off and I make $10 million, then I can buy 10 houses. So it's
no, I don't like this gamble skill.
You like this gamble?
No.
But is it worth it
Don't
too? Is it?
YOLO on $1 million movie. Like
It's always. But Tony,
what
Tony
could you
Wiseau-
actually get done for $1 million? You could get like
it's even less. now.
Yeah, well, that is true.
You
That-
get like
that's the only
2
thing-
days of production from a professional.
It would have to be like
film crew.
at least $3 million. Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, for real.
Yeah, you get what you pay for. You're right, Dave. Dave,
I mean,
thanks.
unless you wrote like a Kevin Smith like Clerks style.
How about a
indie-
Kevin Spacey Clerks?
Or I was
Kevin
gonna say,
Spacey?
I was gonna say,
Clerks. It's all just a bunch of dudes
Did you ever
lurking
see
on
Tony Wiseau?
people.
He's just harassing everyone.
Just lurking on people.
Did you see Tommy Wiseau? You know that director? He has it's like a cult classic. It's like you're saying, this guy took $1 million of his personal money
That makes me
and
all
made
fuzzy.
the most horrible movie ever because
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
and,
God
and
bless
he
him.
was in it too. He was starring in it.
God
But,
bless
Tommy Wiseau, I think it's called like The Apartment or The Room. I forget.
Well, there's been some people in Hawaii that have done the
It's a
thing,
classic,
same thing.
though.
It
takes place in the Bay.
Our friend that owns a skate shop in Kailua, he did it with that movie like about 15 years ago, 10 years ago, yeah. And it was a good.
the
It was
APB
a
skate one.
no. There was the one kind day.
Yeah,
film.
the APB.
No, that was,
sorry,
that was a
the other guy,
Chuck. Yeah, Chuck.
808s. My bad.
And I mean, it was.
Mixing 'em up.
It's painful, but I think it's a release to do it because he's never made a film since, and maybe it kind of liberated him.
This is a funky tune right here.
I feel liberated.
Speaking
I like
of
it.
midlife crisis, like he can look back and.
That's what I mean, and I want to do that, even if I'm
Okay.
homeless and living out of a
you
sailboat.
sailed. You sailed. You could do that.
Yeah,
that's a pretty
midlife
good one.
crisis.
You bought a sailboat. You went sailing. That's admirable. Like,
Yeah, dude.
you're risking your life out there. Like this kid,
Dude.
almost died at sea, and
I
the
go out
wind-
there all the
Imagine
time.
that.
Well, I
Like, wind
was. I
just
went out there a
take
bunch
you
of times.
wherever.
Dude, I was out there going like 20 knots down waves. Like, I mean, it's probably one of the
I went
funnest
down
things to
on
do.
Dawn knots.
You went on down. You're
Dawn
counting
knots.
knots.
Yeah,
It's going so far in. You're counting knots.
Dawn nuts.
Oh, sorry.
I went down on
Donuts.
Dawn nuts.
You went down on Donuts.
Oh, it's not even funny anymore.
Well, I was gonna try to make the
Is
reference.
that a
but,
downwind joke?
It's an
Richard?
old. Don Knotts is like an old timey TV personality.
Oh, Tiny
Don Knotts,
TV.
yeah.
That's Channel 16, right?
No, not tiny TV. Old timey.
Oh,
God. No,
Well,
tiny TV.
you know what Tiny TV?
Oh my God. When I
You're
worked
also tiny.
I worked at a club and his son would come in and
Yeah.
DJ. His son's a popular DJ.
Wow.
Yeah.
I bet he doesn't have this music though.
He's definitely
This is some wild stuff, dude. I almost want to
This
get
is
on
some
surf.
surf. I
He's
wanna be
shaking it.
surfing.
DJ Hoppa Boy.
DJ Hopper Boy. Is
Big
that his name?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, he's big.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's Tiny's son.
Yeah,
That was his son.
that was
huh?
like Big Wednesday
It
music right
still
there.
is, I'm
That
pretty
was.
sure.
glass on fin. No
what do you guys
leash.
glass on? That's what you do in China, right? You're that sole surfer, right?
Well, no waves aren't like that amazing.
You don't have the single fin?
No, I longboard. I get on the nose. I mean, I'm all about. I grew up,
There's a professional surfer in China, James.
Yeah, in China,
That's
dude.
right.
What do you think?
Here, mediocre at best, or just normal, average. But over there, people
What do
are
you
like,
think,
well, they just want they just want to
Is
use
he
me.
selling surfboards for Chinese?
No, it's
He
an American.
should.
It's an American guy, but he
You
works
should be
for
like the
big-
Laird Hamilton of like China.
I would love to just sell tourists cheap Chinese surfboards all day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll put your face on
Like
it.
they come and they buy the Costco
I'll
ones.
break it for him, too.
And then
I'm
I'm pretty sure they
themselves.
probably just throw them away when they're done. They're such throwaway.
I know.
people.
I don't like those
All
cheap
the tourists.
throwaway boards.
Yeah, I know.
Like
we
the
should
ABC
make
ones.
cheap Chinese ones, and we can. We'll have.
I know
we'll
the
put
truth about
recycling
those Jerry
bins.
Lopez, the Costco
the Jerry
foam boards.
ones?
I mean, the
What's
cost
the
of those
ugly
boards.
truth?
The
you
co-
know the truth of the cost of
they
it.
don't make that much money because I get inquiries to people because I'm like a Alibaba professional
You're a
account
seller, yeah.
from these bike and surfboard companies.
Yeah.
I don't do a
You
lot
have
of like
some skin in the game.
I don't do hard selling,
Yeah.
and I don't really follow through.
Alibaba.
I don't know much about the logistics. I just tell them like, yeah, this is good,
Good.
But no, these boards are like
Chinese got a lot of force.
wholesale. The cost to produce these
bet
boards
you-
is probably about
I bet
$70.
you. I don't know actually.
I'm
Do you
just
think
talking.
Do the Chinese have lots of foreskins?
It's the same thing as like C sections because now those are getting more popular there. And so yeah, the same for both reasons.
Wait,
Yeah.
foreskin's more popular in China now?
Yeah, those procedures are just getting more popular. Like cesarean and
Wait, but that's not a procedure though.
Every-
for foreskin.
Foreskins not have
plastic
that
surgery
procedure.
is so like easy there. You don't think like, oh, but
Is
my
circumcision-
morals and my parents. Like, if it's gonna make you like more attractive, you just get
Well,
plastic surgery.
The good thing about C-section is you get to choose the date.
Yeah.
Listen.
That's the best. I mean, the only benefit.
I am
feel like. Well, not the only benefit. If your kid's having a health problem,
was
he
that
needs to get out.
Yeah, C-section is never a good thing. I feel like.
Yeah.
It usually means something went wrong and they have to.
But they always try to get you to do it though, even if there's nothing wrong though. So that's why I don't know.
My firstborn was almost a C-section. The doctor. I feel like they're not as patient as they used to be. They want it to come right out, but I guess my wife had the epidural shot.
Yeah, the epidural first,
and it makes it harder for the woman to feel what's down there. So it's harder for
and
them
push.
to push the
Yeah,
baby out.
you're right.
And my son was like, he was not really coming out fast enough, and the doctor was like, said they have to do C-section, and he came in to check one last time. And he's like, oh, he's like, he's a Filipino guy. He's like, oh, what is this? What is this? What is this?
What is it?
And he so like my son was trying to crawl out with his
the little guy
with his Game Boy. He's already playing the Game Boy in there.
No, with his neck, he was crawling out using his
just his
head.
neck muscles
And he's like
a worm.
He was trying.
a little worm coming out of there.
So he came out and he left, but it was so my son ended up like saving my
Strong.
wife from having to get a C-section by fighting his way out.
Nice.
But it was pretty. Yeah,
You did that. Was he the first too?
yeah.
He paved the way.
He paved the way, and the Filipino doctor was so funny though. He's a great doctor. But
Shout out to all the doctors.
Yeah,
And the Filipino ones out.
and
That's-
especially because
and my Filipino
he's
doctors
telling-
out
he's
there.
we need more
telling you to-
Micronesian doctors.
he's down there. He's down
They're
there
hiring.
trying to get the baby out, and he's yelling push, but he's saying puss 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 puss.
Oh
Puss, puss,
my
puss, puss,
God.
He's right by my
You poor
right
darling.
by my wife's.
Puss, hey,
He's like puss puss puss.
you know, puss.
Yeah. It's like yes, that's
I
what.
need you to puss.
He spits on his hand. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, then he
It's
no, it's not 10:30 yet, is it?
Yeah, you can't be
Usually-
too
Oh, it's 4 minutes.
obscene and graphic.
The second,
But
the
this is a
second
pretty
baby,
graphic
Old family
experience.
lubricant, formulas.
the second baby came right.
It is
out.
a sacred fluid, though, the saliva.
No, it's not. Why is it?
It
a
is,
sacred
Well, I'll just
saliva?
interject real
Yeah.
quick. My wife, like, we were like, natural, all that stuff. And as soon as, like, maybe 10 minutes of, like, honest, like, labor,
Yeah.
we were just like, epidural. Epidural,
Yeah,
please. Like
yeah.
it was like once
She
I saw
couldn't do
her
it?
face, I just saw her
She's
face, and
Japanese,
she's just
yeah.
like.
She
I
gotta
was just
push
like,
out
oh,
this
give her the
huge
drugs. Yeah, just
skillet,
give her the
baby.
drugs.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
No, yeah.
It's so easy to just to like change your mind.
A lot of women, they want. My wife was the same way. She wanted to do it natural, and then
I mean, look at how big
Boom.
Marcus is.
The
man.
pain comes in. You're like,
I bet
yeah.
your boy's big too.
but he's
But the
he's
the
skinny.
Filipino hips can handle.
He's on the easy.
No, we have long.
No, because they say the midwife says they look at the woman's hips. They're like, oh, and they start measuring their hips, and
We
like,
make
okay,
little-
you can have a baby.
The problem is
This-
the
this
lengthy
size baby.
babies. They get twisted.
They get knotted up, huh?
They gotta do a lot of like the massaging to try to get the head around and all that
Yes,
stuff too. The taller,
yeah.
lengthy kids.
They're actually for our baby that's gonna be born in next month.
holy.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
thanks.
induce her. They're gonna
Why?
induce her a week early.
She's out there somewhere.
because she's in her 40s.
So tell him,
she's,
hell no.
no, she's 41,
So,
and there's more complications.
For
She's gotta go
cesarean?
to-
She said
Just
she's
induce her for
Filipino.
cesarean.
Did you tell her?
Hopefully
Did
no
they know that she's
cesarean.
Filipino?
do it.
Yeah, but I guess the gestational diabetes. I guess if the baby can't get too big.
They'll put whatever word to make up some kind of.
Okay. Anyways, I'm just trying to tell you what's going on.
Same
Go with
doctor?
the natural midwife. Wait, hold on. Before you
not
do
that-
this,
No, because what if the
consult
baby's
a
too
natural
big?
midwife. I had my second born baby
Mhm.
in the bathtub of my house. Well, I
That's
saw her come. I didn't pull her out. The midwife, but I
Mhm.
caught her.
And
Yeah.
Dave, they say
But
a
she got a
woman,
little stuck on the
that
end,
gives
though.
birth in her 40s
shoulder.
will more likely live to be 100. Have you heard that?
What?
This is like they say that a woman that gives birth in her 40s is more likely to live to 100.
I believe that.
Did you know the world record
Just
for
trying to
I
give you a
believe-
little sympathy.
No, I believe
true,
she'll
though,
live
yeah.
to 100.
the
What
world?
about
the world
us? Yeah,
record?
that's-
You
I
guys
think
want
I
to hear?
make it
us?
till 70 if I'm lucky.
Yeah. Well, do you want to hear what the world record for babies is?
Oh,
For the-
wait.
Sure.
pumping out babies.
12.
What? Give a number. How much do you think? Like one lady pumped out in her life.
Okay. If it's like humanly possible from 20 to 24 is probably like 18 babies. No, 16 babies.
Yeah.
But maybe she kept pumping them out past 40 and started earlier than 20. So I mean, I'll say like 22 babies.
That's like about half.
What?
Yeah.
Does the Bible count? Because I think in there
it's
there's like
52.
hundreds. Some of those
52.
This is what my daughter told me though, so I don't know if this is where she got this from.
Yeah.
But she said 52. We can look
Check
this up
your,
though.
might have been a
did you
spider or
learn
like
how to
a
check your
let's see.
sources in high school?
No. I never. My source is YouTube.
Yeah.
I only go
Your
there for
source is your
everything.
daughter.
Yeah, I'm talking about all my knowledge that I've acquired in the past, and
All
going with
my
the
knowledge
new,
is really
YouTube
is from
stuff.
YouTube. Yeah.
And the video production kind of matters. If it's not that great, I kind of discount that knowledge, So it's a new world. You really got to have a better production quality to be taken serious. Unfortunately,
What do I say? Babies born.
I'm the
How many?
opposite. I look for people that have bad production quality because
that's true.
Then you get a more authentic
Whoa! This one
opinion.
says 69 children. A Russian woman named Valentina Vasilieva
even
and her husband Fedor
yeah,
Vasilev.
Vaseline is what she needs for
Is
the
that
rest of her life.
A couple has produced. She gave birth to a total of 69 children, 16 pairs
God.
of twins.
She
16
just-
pairs of twins. That's
She
how.
just sits on an ice pack. Like
7
that's-
sets of triplets
Oh
and
my
4 sets of quadruplets
God.
between 1725 and 1765.
Oh
That's pretty
my
long time ago.
God. By number 50, they're just bungee jumping out.
Yeah,
with
they
their
just fall right out.
umbilical
Yeah.
cords. They're just-
Well, she's getting like
they're just dropping
quads?
out.
That's
I don't think she really even needs to go anywhere. She basically is just like grabs it and just does it herself. I don't know.
Oh, not a baby fall on the ground. She's just making babushka. I don't know.
Yeah, those Russians are another
something in
breed.
the
They're so
kitchen
like
and-
strong and firm. The ones that I've met, man, oh my god, like they're intimidating. Like the
this
strength
lady
and
gave
the,
birth to a 22-pound baby. That was a world record
That's
in
crazy.
America.
of course, I mean, we're gonna win on something. It's gonna be the biggest.
Not
for sure.
See
pounds.
if that was that a C-section. I guarantee you, has to be.
How's
Because
it
they
getting out of it?
just pump that thing
It's like
full
corn.
of, yeah, like some kind of like human growth hormones. The baby was eating whey powder in its milk,
Yeah.
or in the mother was drinking whey powder. I don't know. You know,
But hey, these moms back then.
maybe
man,
she was
they're
like a
no joke.
weightlifter and she was taking. You know, I just heard this big conversation about Andre the Giant and like the giantitis or whatever, the when you're those glands, you're born with this stimulated gland, like growth gland, and you just get really big. So
your endocrine system, I think it's like
yeah,
your
and
pituitary.
Yeah, pituitary. That's the one.
Yeah,
I knew you had
Dude,
that.
this lady was 7 feet tall, 11 inches. Like almost 8 feet.
I mean, we grew up with the greatest, with Andre, the Frenchman, Andre the Giant.
Mm-hmm.
It was in her home, so I don't think
That
it
was
was a C-section.
Okay.
Yeah. But this was in
What year was it? Of course.
1879.
Well, yeah, they didn't have
1879, and they were both like 8-foot people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that
they were like
makes sense.
giants.
That
They were like
makes
part of that
sense.
giant bloodline.
Do you believe in giants?
I could, yeah.
You could.
I could. I mean, those ancient
Do
architectures.
you believe in
Giants.
You got a
I
little giant
hope
DNA.
you do.
I do. I believe that.
I love giants.
I love giants.
I want some giant.
Can't wait
So,
till
like-
they come back out of hiding.
Yeah, dude, I'm impressed though that they have these big doorways and intricacy.
Oh,
intricate,
Polynesia
architecture.
has this like mystical history of giants, New Zealand and all across. Yeah, skeletons in the cupboard.
All cultures.
A great YouTube
Yeah.
documentary
like red.
goes into it. Yeah, the Reds.
The Reds, yeah.
And the Manahuni, the little people were actually in the islands first. Samoa,
The
Tonga.
Maroons, yeah. And I
the
heard
little
they were
guy,
like
the little people,
engineers.
yeah.
They built a lot of the walls and infrastructure here.
Because unfortunately, yeah, the sacred sites and the archaeological evidence that Bishop Museum has, like, we don't really know. It's only speculation. Like there's basically remnants.
Yeah,
of
they'll
a
uncover
previous
new stuff though.
But there's remnants of a previous culture than the Hawaiians. You know, that's
Yeah,
kind of like I
for
think the
sure.
thing they're holding away from
Oh,
the
yeah.
public because it's
Yeah, but
it's a sensitive
you know.
topic. But
we were talking about this like earlier today. It was like, what makes Hawaii special? Like what is the view? Like if you're a tourist or you live in the United States of America, like what is Hawaii's optics like? No, people like to come here for like the food. It's a nice place to live, or like the air is warm, and you're surrounded by beauty, right? Ocean all around, and that's kind of like the optics. But we're like, what?
I thought about it too. I would
Yeah.
say the possibility of adaptation, that you don't have to be actually born something to actually become it. And because a lot of people feel that about America, like maybe someone from China,
But they don't
or
want.
from
They don't
South
like it if
America.
if I say I'm Hawaiian and I'm not, like by blood.
I
Like
think
that's a big thing. That
in a
comes
group
up.
by group, yes,
Yeah.
but individually they'll find peace with the person.
They do. Yeah.
Hawaiians
As long as
are
you're
the
cool
most humble
and low,
people, but in a group that's like
Yeah.
angry because their land's being taken away, of course they're not.
When
gonna
you
be
heard
like,
about the
yeah, dude, like, you want some
Lilo
land?
and
You
Stitch,
want some land?
the Lilo and Stitch girl from Kauai,
Right.
she was portraying this Hawaiian character from the book or the cartoon anime,
Yeah.
Disney animation. Lilo and Stitch.
Right.
I don't know the character.
Moana or
no, Lilo and
No,
Stitch.
it's Lilo and
But
Stitch.
she was a Filipino girl from Kauai,
Mm-hmm.
and the media was calling her Hawaiian, and there was some backlash on the social web, Instagram or whatever. Sorry.
No,
Why am I-
the mainlanders do
Anyways,
that.
yeah,
The
there's
they say, "Oh, you're from Hawaii. You're Hawaiian,"
Mhm.
and it's like, no. Like you don't understand. My freshman year of college, I went to school in New York,
Mhm.
and I'm a Howley guy. I'm born and raised here, but I'm a white guy, and I would go up there to school, and this one girl started calling me, "Oh, Hawaiian Dave,"
Mhm.
and I said, "No." I was like, "You can't call me that."
Oh, man, I got laid.
I was like, if anybody,
She wanted to get laid, dude. What's up? You left it hanging.
No,
Hawaiian
no,
Dave.
but it's like no, like
Big Wave Dave. You could
just
say.
don't
No,
call
me
me that.
Big Wave Dave.
yeah, you can call me something else, but
Yeah.
not Hawaiian.
Well, the surf,
because I'm not Hawaiian. It's like
Yeah, they just don't know. Like
They don't
people
know.
from.
They just assume.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Is like what they don't know much.
I
so-
guess it would be like if I was Billy Bob, they call me, hey, it's Texas Bill, or something like that. But
like
Hawaii, no,
you know,
it doesn't work.
Is everybody wants to put Hawaii on the map too? But has anyone from Hawaii done it, or have they all just like sold out?
Dude,
do you feel
the surf guy, WSL,
John
lets non-Hawaiians be listed as like Hawaiian and not for the USA.
Right,
you
right.
know, like
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
you know, which is controversial.
Do they let transgenders surf? And
I don't think
so.
they want to. There hasn't
want
really
to.
been
I
one
think they-
yet
I
that can
think they
qualify.
want to.
There hasn't been one that can qualify yet because the women are actually like pretty good. Like if a dude just was like, I'm going to start surfing to become like a transgender surfer, and I believe I'm a woman, like they would have to come up through like, you know, a decade or more
Contest.
of training. And yeah, dude, it's
Yeah.
like, it's going to be really hard. Maybe swimming or something like that might be a little easier, but surfing, it's going to be a lot
They're
harder.
stepping it up. The girls are definitely stepping up.
Bethany
Throwing a lot of
Hamilton
spray.
quit because they changed the rule.
I think
She
they
basically
can't be as powerful as men, but they are getting some power turns laying down. You know, I seen one at Sunset. I seen a girl do a good gallop at the end section Sunset Bowl, and that was impressive.
But if it's like Philip Toledo putting on like a wig and going out there and entering the women's, I think like
there's this girl, this
that
local
would be
girl that
hilarious.
charges big waves. Siri, she's in the locations department. I forget her Instagram.
Is she going to challenge the men?
She kind of does. She's out there. She's a cowgirl too. She rides horses.
the
and
opportunity
does
should
stunts.
be there for anybody. Like you don't see a lot of like professional black snowboarders because like they didn't
Carissa
have
Moore used to.
access to like these Aspen,
Oh,
Colorado
don't
or
be
something
a
like
racist.
that. No,
Black people can do snow sports if they
I'm
want
not
to.
saying
Did
not.
you see
the
Cool
opportunity
Runnings?
should be fair.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
not Cool Runnings.
Yeah,
yeah.
We were talking about
John Candy can teach him.
John Candy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Anyway, you asked what makes Hawaii like special like that, and that was my point. Is that Americans can have the opportunity to say that there's something else, you know, and it's the same thing for a man that wants to be a woman, a woman wants to be a man. It's the same thing.
Well, okay, so anybody
What you
can do
identify
it, man.
as.
Okay, well, how does that make Hawaii different? If you can identify as anything in Hawaii,
well, yeah,
and you can identify as anything on the mainland, then that's the same freaking thing.
but that's the point though that Don said, and he's not here, but I'll give his.
He's
point.
coming.
He said, you know, this is just another state. Like we're not as different. This could be anywhere. Like you could be anywhere. It's the same. You know.
Well, he doesn't hang out in the Sandy Beach
Like we're
parking lot
just the
enough,
same as anywhere.
or like.
And I kind of like that point because.
Well, if you're
Yeah, it's
talking
not
about
about-
America as a country, then yeah, then we are like, you know, we're just a state like any other state. That's
Mhm.
fine. Yeah.
But there is something more to Hawaii than
There are some
meets
things
the
but
eye, right?
if you like travel and go like look at other islands around the world, there are other just gorgeous islands all around the world.
Mhm.
But yeah, Hawaii is you know,
I butchered his point too. Yeah, I wish he would come and give it. But
You know, I met
but
some.
we're starting the scary thing is that we're starting to lose the tourism because
Bali, places like
COVID,
Bali, or no,
Or
it's
is
just
it
too
cheaper?
expensive. It's just too expensive.
Cheaper
it's
stuff.
expensive and it's
Bali is
a lot of
stealing all of it,
crime,
yeah.
and it's you know it's Waikiki isn't as clean as it used to be.
The
It's
home-
kind of
the-
messy,
yeah.
a lot of homeless,
Uh-huh.
and so
Well, also some of these foreigner monies took a hit. Like I know Japan's deflationary
yeah.
period.
So they want to go to cheaper places. Yeah,
yeah,
Bali
they're
is
not. But then
Dude.
Chinese people are here and Koreans
not as much.
come
There's
in
no
more.
direct flights.
No direct flights.
No,
Okay,
no. So we're missing a little bit of that. It's
There's-
partially responsible from our Department of Tourism. Like they
Department of Tourism.
are
you call it
kind of
Luffy Hanneman out.
well.
Is he?
He's in charge.
Yeah,
Oh,
of the
okay.
DOT, I think, or no, not DOT. Sorry,
No.
there's a new. They changed it. I think.
Okay, yeah, they probably
got
came up with
sued.
another name,
They probably
yeah.
got sued and changed
That's
it.
what happened to the ASP.
Yeah,
the World
ASP
Tour.
surfing.
They
The
got
North Shore Association sued them.
Sue them
And
because
then, like
of the
a week
pipeline
later,
contest.
yeah, and like the formats and all that, and then
they
they
weren't
like
letting in
letting in
locals,
wild cards, and also
they're
the
taking up a lot of the
format.
period too,
Yeah.
like the date, the
Yeah,
how long they could hold it. They were like, you know, it was
yeah,
like,
2-man heats, I think. They were doing like 2-man heats.
They were doing 2-man heats
Yeah,
too.
2-man heats.
So with 4-man heats and the overlapping heats. So what they did, they started
the
doing those
overlapping.
heats.
Yes, that's how
And
they
that kind of
treated it.
solved.
It's great,
that
but they had to
problem.
change their name.
Yeah,
because they were like, we gotta get
they got
we gotta
sued
get
or
out of here.
So now it's WSL.
Burn all the
But ever
documents.
since then, I know hate. I mean, yes, hate on. I don't watch WSL anymore.
Hey, just big corporate stuff, dude.
I don't like the trend, and they don't have the Triple Crown anymore. And they moved the pipeline contest to the start of the year, which it was always the end of the year.
I
It was
know.
like,
From
always
COVID
came
did
down to
that.
pipe.
Yeah, COVID did that.
I don't know. Yeah.
No, it did.
Why?
They changed the schedule in COVID just because it wasn't open. They couldn't come, and then finally they got it, and they
Well, they
switched
got
the
to
whole.
change it back because it's like
It's so
this
lame.
is the
whole thing is
not
our
We've lost a lot
our
of
guys
viewers.
in the longboarding are like killing it. They're all like Connie,
Yeah,
Johnny.
yeah.
They're all and
They have
John
a different
Paul's
thing, like,
daughter, Khalees,
same schedule too.
Khalees
maybe, yeah.
Karapa and Honolulu Bloomfield and all them. But like
Okay.
they're so unfairly judged because like our guys are so smooth.
They're so good. Yeah.
They just there's the only amount of sketchiness you ever see is like a little like praying mantis or something, but never like this kind of like Gidget goes to Hawaii like kind of arm weird hand thing.
Uh-huh.
And all these Aussies and like all these people from around the world do a lot of this sketchy. Anyway, dude, anyway, I guess you just can't have Hawaiians winning all the time.
Well,
so
they did this to
Yeah.
John. Like once they see how
Him
good
too.
you are and like how easy it is for you, they judge you to a higher standard.
Or
I don't know why
you
these
get,
surf
like-
judges do this. It's like
So
dude,
they give you
just-
like lower scores.
yeah,
and
they
do
start
it to
lowering your
someone
scores.
else.
Yeah, and it's like,
yeah, you get like a handicap. They just
Well,
give you
makes
like a
sense.
handicap
Well, this
automatically.
goes into something we were talking about before, which is that like
Sports are whack.
Sports are rigged. Sports are
Yeah.
rigged.
yeah, we were
Sports
talking
are
about
rigged.
that. Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and I think-
WWF baby.
no, but
That's one of the good
think-
So
stuff.
this guy, this football player, came out and said it, and like they're like totally blackballed him, and they're saying,
Dave
"Hey,
would
come
know.
to this ceremony. We're gonna give you an award for something." And he's like, "Hell no! I'm sorry for saying hell, but he's like, I'm not going there." He's like, "Yeah."
Hell no!
He's like, "Hell no!"
He said,
no."
"Hell to the nah."
Yeah, he's like, "I ain't going to this in the this room." He's like, "That's how they get you." He's like, all of a sudden you end up
Going to some after
Somewhere,
party
I don't know.
somewhere, and
Yeah.
everybody's wearing all white.
What did he say?
Yeah.
He said it was rigged, though, right?
He said it was rigged.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly all the details, but
So I believe the NFL is actually
An NFT in disguise.
opinions and views heard may not be those of K2H's
No,
licensed fees
it's
management or
not
staff.
classified as sports. It's classified as entertainment. It's an entertainment company.
That is.
Just
Well,
like the
that's why
Olympics.
wrestling is killing it. I think one of you guys said that.
I was
like,
about to say, yeah.
yeah, because it's already under the notion that hey, this is like a fake thing and we're entertainers.
Yes.
But we're killing it.
in
We're
its
trying hard.
Honesty, in its truthfulness,
Yeah, I
to,
love
its, to
honesty.
its fakeness,
Us fours
it's
love honesty.
winning everyone over because everybody else is like getting like feels like the other sports are rigged, but some people won't come to terms with it.
Uh-huh.
And the wrestling fans are like the happiest, like diehard fans
They're fun
because
yeah.
they know it's
And they are
scripted.
diehard.
They know
Yeah.
it's communist.
They know
It's
it's
basically communist entertainment.
No, but it's,
I mean, it's
just
controlled,
good,
you know?
old
Good old
fashioned
fun.
storytelling and fun.
Storytelling, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and that's
And characters, yeah,
Yeah,
character driven.
characters
And that's
and
what
character
Hollywood's
arcs.
missing nowadays
Yeah.
with the new movies. You don't
Yeah.
really learn anything anymore. You don't get these
Right.
awesome storytellers or even characters like
yeah,
these old time actors that had like grisly faces.
yeah.
Now you get like some guy that looks like
Right.
Twilight or I don't know
Remember those old great
that guy from Twilight.
character actors like Peter Lorre,
Peter Lorre, yeah, those guys were awesome. Those little eye twitches.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like oh man.
You know who I really
vaudeville?
like?
Are
The
you talking about
Japanese
vaudeville? What are you talking
director
about?
beat Takeshi, and he would do like these. He could like control his eye twitch, and it would make him look
Oh.
super insane.
That's the best.
And it was just like, oh, he did it on cue, and it was like perfect. I was like, oh my, this is like the most beautiful thing.
He took it far.
Because he get that movie Battle Royale, so he dies,
Oh, yeah.
and then he has the best death scene ever. So he picks up the phone, he calls his wife, and he tells her, "Yeah, you're beep. Like, I'm not coming home for dinner, or like there's dinner on the stove or something," and then he just like hangs up and then dies.
Oh,
like,
wow.
it's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love those guys.
Yeah, that's great. Like,
does anybody remember what we're talking about?
Giving a good one-liner to your wife right before you die, just giving her one last jab.
Yeah, just give it to her. Yeah.
Al
Look at another thing.
Al Bundy would be proud. Yeah.
Was he from what TV show was that? Al Bundy?
Married with Children.
Yeah.
Yeah, great old show. If you want to watch some good YouTube insults, like you look up Al Bundy's YouTube, like insults on YouTube.
I was talking to somebody that, like, I'm not that old in the generation, but I was young enough to be watching a lot of late night TV that I was still like alive watching Johnny Carson.
Oh, really?
And the guy, what was his sidekick? Yes,
Ed McMahon.
Yeah, Ed McMahon. Yeah, I mean, and like this formula, like growing up with that kind of formula is different. Of course, it's different than now, but it even went away like with Letterman and that, because Johnny was always like, kind of like just kept his cool and didn't really show much like emotion.
Did he drink?
He must have drank a lot. I don't know. He did something, but
Johnny or Ed?
John. Or anyways,
a lot of those guys do. A lot of those
they
late
do.
night
I
TV
thought that's what they do
because those guys live almost like they're like firefighters.
Because like back then it was like they would have it like on the set too.
And,
like,
those guys work like every day,
and they would like smoke.
They make millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, they have to
work every day.
You know who's like that? Who's the Ed Harvey's like that? You ever seen like a little?
Can't go far.
Harvey Weinstein?
No, Ed Harvey. Ed Harvey.
Black
What do you guys? Family Feud.
Oh,
or something?
Family Feud. Yeah, Ed Harvey.
Steve Harvey.
That name, James.
That name, James strikes again.
Ed Harvey. You know the bald guy with the mustache. Potato head.
Yeah, Steve Harvey.
Anyway, Steve Harvey has an insane work schedule. I saw like a little bit he did. He's like, I go from this to this to that. And
well, that's
like,
why those guys.
And I'm just working.
Some of them,
I'm just working.
Like the original Daily Show guy, Craig Kilborn. He came in for a few years, like started the Daily Show, and then like left because he was like, nah. You know, this is just too much. Like, I want to live a life.
Too much work.
And once you got a couple million, even you don't have to make tens and 20 millions of dollars. Once you have like a couple $1 million, like it's kind of like you have the option to just disappear. And get out of the business.
I heard Jimmy Fallon can't put down the bottle. He doesn't know what to do with it.
Because they're depressed, dude. They're like the most depressed.
Does he drink on set too?
Probably, dude. Probably.
And then what? So what's this whole thing with Jimmy Fallon?
He was complicit to Horatio.
Horatio Sands' whole
grooming.
Yeah. Another groom.
It's a great story. I'm not great, but entertaining in a way where
showing the seedy side.
I think D's here. He wants to talk about grooming.
I'll be right back.
He wants to talk about the Mendez brothers.
Yeah, and
Menendez.
But
I knew I was going to say that.
But they're all complicit. SNL's complicit on Horatio Sands' whole case.
All right, well,
it's all documented.
It's documented.
Lorne Michaels and all that kind of. It's just like it's sad, but it's true. You know, it. Like,
and this ties into the Menendez brothers because the father.
Yes, we're getting there.
We're getting there. I'm sure D wants to.
Yeah, we're warming up for. We're gonna lay it up to him, and hopefully he can just slam dunk it. Like,
he's been waiting.
Last week, you guys kept doing layups, and then it was just like.
We're hitting the rim.
Foul. Yeah.
You're going in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out.
In and out, in and out. That's what you say counting knots earlier. I thought he was talking about something else.
Counting what? Yeah. I was like, Don's knots?
He's going to the...
He was talking about, Dave was talking about Don's knots earlier.
Yeah, counting knots like a sailor.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
Like a sailor. Counting knots.
Don knots. He said it was a joke.
You know how sailors count knots? So I think he was making like one of those like kind of sexual toy references. Like he was counting knots.
How many knots you can get up there?
Well, you guys count wind knots, right?
Yeah, in sailing, it's like a sailing.
Yeah.
I'm saying it could be a good joke if like a comedian's out
there. It means how screwed you are. It's like I'm 8 knots screwed.
Oh no! So call the
I'm 12 knots deep.
Call the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. But
Well, we're talking about grooming, Don. We gave it the
my
best
God.
time.
Did you guys have Menendez talk without
Well,
me?
we didn't
Thank
start it.
you.
I'm
Did
getting
you
it
watch any,
prefaced
dude?
for you. I'm trying to throw you a
How can you
layup.
not love that coverage?
Look, our best player, he just gets layups and come on, slam dunk it for us, D.
What?
Give us the Mendez brothers.
Talk Menendez, who saw
It's not Menendez, it's Menendez.
It's not Menendez. Menendez.
He Puerto Rican Menendez.
So these
man.
are two good-looking brothers, I hear.
Yeah, is Dave behind me?
Nah, he's taking a break. I think he's tapping out. Dave, you can
He's
always
in
get
the other
another
room.
chair.
Look at him. He's like,
I think he needs a chair.
I'm warming you up. I'm using
It's
the
all
other mic
good.
link, but
I think we actually got to go to a break, though, to be honest, in like 8 minutes. So we'll save the Menendez brother for the last.
Hour. Anybody that wants to call in about the Menendez bros.
The bros.
Menendez.
The lore. How long have these guys been locked up so far?
Over 30 years.
30 years. Wow.
Over 30.
That's a long time. And they're still relevant.
Where are their parents still alive or
No. 6 shotgun blasts.
It was heard as like fireworks. It was
Literally
going
blown
on.
their
I've been
body.
waiting for an opportunity to fucking
The neighbors didn't call. They thought it was fireworks. That was how many shotgun blasts
Literally,
there
it
were
was
going on.
shotgun
It
blast.
was like,
I'm just curious, like, where are they? Are they still alive? Why are they in jail?
That does lead me to one fascinating fact about
Yeah.
the trial, though. The gunshot, the gun
It's like, we
laws-
got to get into it.
Okay, they keep saying, "Oh, it was so brutal. There was like, fragments all over the place." And yeah, because they got shot with a gunshot.
Shotgun.
But
yeah.
do you know
Shotgun, yeah.
But do you know why? It's because they went to because of the Brady bill, which was the bill where the guy tried to shoot Reagan, basically. Handguns were they still are very illegal in the US, handguns. So they wanted just handguns. They didn't want to explode. They just wanted
They didn't
a
intend for
tool.
that.
Yeah,
Glory.
they just
no,
wanted
but they did say that they were trying to mock like a gang violence, like
No.
a mafia hit.
It had no. That's
That's what the A&E
yeah,
guy
that's
said
the
that.
A&E guy. But
They're like,
here's
there
the
was
fact.
kneecaps blown up.
Well,
Yeah.
they put shotguns into
Okay,
people's
okay.
houses because they
No, no.
get to say they're buying them to duck hunt and not for self-defense.
But here's the facts. They just wanted a gun. The state only allowed you to get a hunting shotgun. That's the only thing they could buy. They couldn't get they wanted handguns. Like that's like the best handguns are the
Well,
best.
surely they would know somebody. Like I thought these guys were connected.
No, they
like,
went to
original
the sporting
kids.
goods store.
How old
Yeah,
were
they
they?
didn't know anyone. They
They're
were
like 15?
They just went to the sporting goods store to buy gun. They said we want a gun to protect. Basically.
I'm sure they had drug dealers. Like ready.
That's not where they got their gun. It
No, but
doesn't
they
matter.
could have.
Possibly. I don't think they had drug dealers. These
These guys were in.
They were kids. They didn't have
Yeah, they were
connections.
kids.
No, I
or
thought they were burglars too. They were saying.
They did like
They tried
petty
to stage
crimes as a kid, but that doesn't mean they have connections. Just because they broke into someone's house doesn't mean they know all
Well, they
these
did some
gun
staging
I would
too.
think if they stealing
if
stuff
they-
and selling,
They got the guns from a gun store, so that's where they got their guns. It's the gun store.
like a pawn shop, right?
No, a gun. They went to like the sports authority of the
Yeah.
day. It was like the sporting goods store, and then
That's dumb.
so
Guns
like,
are us.
everyone's like, oh, it's they just they exploded them. Well, that's what happens when you pull the trigger on one of those things. They would have pulled the trigger on anything, and they happen to pull it on the only gun they could get, which will blow the crap out
This
of
is
you.
kind of making me sick, actually.
So why? So, but hey, the nation's very Menendez'd out. But
Yeah.
so I don't know. You want to take a break?
We are going to take a break.
If you think
I think
that's
it's
sick,
time.
wait till you found out what Daddy did. Then you realize it is a sick story.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. We'll get into that.
I mean, it's not about the.
Oh, they were 21 and 18 years old.
yeah,
so
but
they were a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a.
But did you have a? What were you? How smart were you at age 18? And
Yeah, especially from whatever.
I bet you could barely wipe your own butt.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean you kill someone, but the killing had to do with, well, it's many things to discuss. You guys didn't do your homework.
I guess they don't have age of consent to kill your parents yet.
Oh, I mean, you can never kill your parent. Like, and
What
what
if they're
they
like 80 and you're like,
Yeah,
you
we're
know,
not
like
condoning,
begging you to. No, I'm
killing
sorry.
what
Yeah,
they
it's a joke.
did-
It's supposed to be a
oh,
joke.
you
I'm
got the
sorry,
live
of course.
what they did is they had themselves in the worst spot you can possibly be in.
They called the cops, right? And they like tried to
Here's another
file charges
interesting
and all
thing.
that kind of stuff.
If they were real, there's a couple things. If they had like some sick plan, they ended up staying at the house after the murder. The murder, nobody called the police. Isn't that crazy?
I'd be shocked.
You let off 12 gunshots in
Would
the
never do
neighborhood.
that.
in
Yeah.
rapid
So, like,
succession.
They didn't. No, the police didn't come till like 3 hours after the crime when they called the
When they
police.
called, right,
They
right.
called the police and said, someone murdered my parents. And then that's when the lies started. Because, you start to get away with it. You're like, ooh, can I have it all? Can I get back at my parents and have my freedom? I'd like to have both.
But what did they do though?
But it just started as their first thing was, I need to eliminate my parents.
Yeah. For the money, right? They were trying to get
Nobody
into a will.
knows. That's why it's a court case. I don't go, yes, they murdered him for the money. I was never there. I don't know. I wasn't. Nobody. The thing about a crime is no one's there. So
Well, the
you gotta
documentary that I saw
Yeah, you
said
saw the
that
documentary.
they were getting cut out of the will. They were being threatened to be cut out of the will. And
yeah, they didn't think they were going to get any money
'Cause they
from
got
them
into trouble.
anyways, but they didn't actually get a will. They got and that's the thing. Their money ran out so quick. By the second trial, they didn't have enough money to defend themselves. They didn't
because they spent it all lavish
on legal.
No,
They spent $700,000 total.
They said that they were buying living
40,
lavish
Andy.
lifestyles
To
and
me-
buying cars.
But
and,
what kind of lifestyle did they live before that?
I mean, it was already probably similar,
buying
but
fancy cars,
but in foreign,
having nice stuff. But that was their life, and that's
Mhm.
what they did. They always had money. So, I mean,
well,
but-
it was their money though. They were spending
me,
their
I-
parents' money after they died.
of course, it's a
Right.
family money that was going to go to them. Whether the parents if the parents died naturally, they would have got that money anyways. It's not
Mhm.
like that money wasn't in their pipeline.
Mhm,
But
Well, we'll get into it.
And
We'll
then,
get
wait,
into it,
but-
John.
but-
We got to
but
go
no,
to a
before
quick
you end
break.
that, one thing
We got
about that,
one-
because you
one
said
more
that they
thing.
spent expensively. Okay, the older brother spent a lot. He bought
Mhm.
he bought like a Porsche and a Rolex. Those are the only two things. The rest things he bought 2 businesses though. They acted like, oh, he bought all this. I don't think buying 2 businesses is a lavish expense because you're gonna have to work those businesses. What the brother bought, the little brother, he bought tennis. He bought a tennis coach.
Tennis lessons. Yeah.
But those are expensive things. But are
They were
those?
robbing houses before that, though.
I know.
That's what I said.
but-
That they're burglars.
Listen,
yeah.
you guys watch you guys when
We
you do
watched
your
that,
work,
yeah.
when you do your research,
Amy,
research
cold,
both sides,
cold case shut.
so you know how things
Amy
are.
gave me a nice sleep.
But okay, but do you consider buying tennis lessons to be the most lavish expenditure in
Having
the
a
world?
personal coach, yes.
Yeah,
I
that's
consider
great. That's
that.
great. They already had a personal coach, but if you're going to go lavish, why do you buy tennis lessons that require you working? That puts you. What they're doing is they're setting
Well,
themselves up
tennis
for
is a rich
future.
man's sport, right? Or no?
I don't know.
They
Is it a
put the
rich
law
man's sport?
into their own?
I guess it's
hands.
not
Right.
too
Everyone
much.
knows they murdered him, but that's not the point. Like,
Right. No, we're talking about the
did
tennis.
you guys didn't even watch the abuse? That's the whole. Yeah. That's
No, but as far as
life in
tennis
prison?
being
Yeah,
a
they got
lavish
life in
thing,
prison. Life in prison. Yeah.
I think tennis is kind of like a upper class.
Yeah,
kinda,
well, the Williams sisters played it, so they're from the ghetto. So does that make?
well, you
so
can
tennis
make
is a sport.
you can
okay?
make a name for yourself in
What
tennis.
you're doing is
you can
you're-
be
what
nothing
you're doing
and
is
become
you're-
something.
Yeah,
Even
but
Mike
it's not a
Tyson's
rich
daughter
man's
is a
sport.
tennis player.
It's just a sport. See,
It
things
is just a
even
sport,
golf
yeah.
is a sport.
But
It
we
doesn't-
could say that
doesn't mean
there's
only rich
a
men
different
can
type
play
of
it.
people that
Oh,
kind
but
of
whatever, they're
gravitate
rich. Hey,
towards it.
nobody said the Menendez
And, like,
brothers
keep it
weren't
going,
rich.
you
I'm
know?
asking you to think logically here. Do you think those are lavish, selfish expenses? I think to me, they're odd expenses. They're not expense. A lavish expense would get like buying
A Ferrari, buying a Ferrari.
No. It'd be wastefully taking your money, not buying. It'd be like what the kids did with the crypto money.
Spending it
Yeah,
on,
buying like cash and John Perrier and blowing it, and you know
Yeah.
they did spend money. They spent, I think it was $700,000. A lot of it was stuff I thought were not
What
like
do
the
they
most frivolous things. Buying businesses is a smart thing.
You know,
that means you're thinking about your future.
prisons might even have
That costs
tennis
money.
tennis
and
courts.
buying tennis lessons, it's like he was always playing tennis. He was a future tennis pro.
Yeah.
He liked tennis. It was an escape for him. But they had money. Like they got in.
Well, they had like a photo of him like all decked out in like the nice tennis attire, like the
they're rich. Nobody like. There's no deny. Like it's a weird thing to judge someone because they're rich. That's socialism. That's like people are born rich. They just happen to be born rich.
Well, the dad didn't actually come from a rich family. He made it on his own. He came from Cuba and went to school.
Yeah, well, his family was rich in Cuba. That's what people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when people make it,
But he made it on his own. Though.
Yeah,
He
but
left.
when people make it
Came
to the
to
United
America.
States, they have a lot more money than you think, especially legally. If they come illegally, they don't have money. But if they come legally to the United States, it takes a lot of money to do that. So, money's not the thing. That's why you guys are doing what the jurors did. They say, I don't like these people because they represent rich white people. You know, they assume they're white because they look white. And that's not fair because that has nothing to do with the crime. That's just that's like saying this guy's tall. This guy, like they were born this way. They were born rich. So that's not a factor. You have to look at what happened.
We got to get back.
Okay.
We got to get.
Well, his dad was putting his.
We got to get back to that.
Exactly.
Hold on,
You know what I
guys.
mean? Like,
We'll be right back.
Okay.
K2HFM Honolulu.
To provide the people of Honolulu with alternative programming for the cultural and educational enrichment of the students of the university system and the community. This is College Radio, KTUH, Honolulu.
Your voice, your vote. Your vote is your leo, and it has the power to make our democracy stronger. Vote in the next upcoming elections this November on Tuesday, November 5th. Register to vote and find your polling place at vote.gov. This is a public service announcement from KTUH. Aloha.
The K2H 2024 Fall Radiothon has ended, and we are pleased to announce that we have reached our goal of $15,000. Now we are able to improve our remote broadcast equipment and DJ event equipment. This allows us to take our tunes outside and have even more fun and improved outdoor events. Thank you all for your support in helping us keep college radio loud and clear.
Exploring science in the sea. For a tiny marine worm found in the Bay of Naples and elsewhere, life ends in a frenzy. The worms lose a lot of their internal organs, their eyes get bigger, and they rise to the surface. There, as they paddle furiously, they release sperm and eggs, creating the next generation. And it's all triggered by moonlight. The worms are one of more than 10,000 species of marine bristleworm. They're only about an inch long. Each body segment has a pair of paddle-like structures tipped with bristles. The worms live at the bottom of warm, shallow waters around the world, and they're considered living fossils. They haven't changed much in tens of millions of years. The bristleworms are especially sensitive to changing light levels. They build tubes on the ocean floor. When a shadow passes across them, they pull back into the tubes to elude possible predators. And their end-of-life ballet is triggered by moonlight. The body changes begin around the time of new moon, when there's little or no moonlight. The worms then rise to the surface not long after the full moon. Scientists recently studied how that happens. They found that some proteins react differently with different light levels. Under bright sunlight, they stay apart in separate units. But under dimmer conditions, the units stick together. That allows the worms to not only distinguish between day and night, but between different phases of the moon. A light-activated trigger for a big change. Science in the Sea is a production of the University of Texas Marine Science Institute and is on the web at scienceinthesea.org. I'm Holly Brawley.
K2H Campus Events Calendars.
The UH Department of Art and Art History presents The Art Gallery, a 4,400 square foot space exhibiting contemporary works by local and international artists. Programming for exhibitions includes lectures by artists and scholars, symposia, films, and tours. In addition to showcasing works of the BFA and MFA programs, the Art Gallery also organizes traveling exhibitions, many of which have been presented at more than 100 museums in the US, Mexico, Canada, Japan, Taiwan, and Guam. The Art Gallery is located on campus at 2535 McCarthy Mall. For directions, parking locations, and information
Hello?
about exhibitions
K2H.
and events, you can visit hawaii.edu/art.
On the phone. Hello? No, it's on. Oh, yeah.
K2H Campus Events Calendars.
For the University of Hawaii at Manoa campus news, go to www.kaleo.org.
Stay tuned in the next hour for the concert events calendars.
Hello, K2H. Welcome. 90.1 FM. You're tuned in to Jimmy Crow and the Bros. Right here we got
Dommy
Cool D. You're not Dommy D.
Dommy D.
You're Cool D tonight.
Dommy
D.
D.
Are you coming in? Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed?
I'm always Dommy D.
What's going on here? This guy just woke up. How could he possibly have the stamina and the courage?
I don't stand old.
Yeah. And we got Skillets in the house. He's another 9.
Yeah.
Somebody called in 956-7261. I can't hear you. I don't know where you are. You can call back in. I'm gonna let you go. Call back.
Can you
I
just,
don't know what's going on
pick
with
up
the
the
phone.
phone and answer it?
Maybe. I don't know. But now he's gone.
Do they have a phone here?
Yeah, they do have a phone. And the number is 956-7261. But yeah, we were talking about the Menendez brothers.
So do you know how it all started back up? We know
these guys were burglars. They're drug dealers.
Oh my god!
They're living up.
They had their tennis clothes on.
They were tennis
You guys don't
players.
want to sound
They were
like
in
that.
Ferraris,
You don't want to sound like that.
blowing cocaine up their nose. They're used to these rich parties.
Okay, so
They came
how did
in,
it all start. We lived through it. So
They
I have
heard
the
that
same
they were going to be
assumption as
cut
you.
out of the will from their dad's
Would you
money.
shut the hell up for a second.
This is how it started, right?
Okay, I get it. You've said that already.
I did not say it. The audience does not know. Did they know
You
that
said
his
it
dad
3
was
times. I'm
rich?
trying to get to the start of it. Are you close?
So
to the
who
case
was
right
his
now?
dad? Who was his dad then? Tell us.
I'm trying to tell you how it all started, so that people know. But basically,
He's fired up.
I'm fired up. Basically,
He's fired up. What's going on?
We lived through it, right? So we know. And
You lived through this?
Yeah, the Menendez brothers.
Yeah, it was a big trial.
So I said the exact
Definitely.
same
When
thing
was
you
it? The
said.
90s or?
Like 95, 96
Yeah,
or something.
so we know what happened, or we think we know what happened, but you got to remember, you guys, all your perspectives were through the eyes of the media. You guys literally, like, we all watched.
No,
it
I
in the
did. I didn't
90s,
even watch it.
having no
89,
idea what the
damn.
media does and what the media is about.
I was
right?
too young. I was
So
too young.
everything the media tells us, we just like, oh, it's the media. They said it. Okay, so we live through the media's version, and that's what I said too. So the only reason I thought.
now? Are you a TikToker?
I don't know why you guys think it's smart to accuse. Once you find out what went on with these kids, you're gonna feel bad. So just pipe down.
No,
Pipe down and let it
no.
happen. Keep,
We got an opinion.
see if I got.
You sound a little.
Oh, you can tell me I sound whatever you want.
You
but I would,
sound
I
like
would
the
listen.
dad. You sound
I
like
would
the
listen.
dad. Hold on, we got a call. We got a
I
call.
would
Pipe
listen.
down.
before you
We
guys
got a call.
start
We got a
saying
call.
these
We got a
things.
call.
I would just listen up. Like that's
All
how
right,
court
K2H.
goes. You listen to both sides. You don't start saying in the beginning, "Hey, this guy's a dirty murderer." You listen to both sides.
K2H.
That's how you handle a case, right?
Somebody there? These old boards, I think. Can somebody buy it? Like,
It wasn't on. Wait.
Answer the handset, dude. What the hell?
What do you?
Why don't you just try
why do you
answering the
push the
handset?
buttons?
Like you've hung up 4 callers already.
Hi, K2H. You're on the air. Can I talk to you? I hear you in the back.
I know. I can hear it.
Sounds annoying.
I know that's how he sounds. Whoever's calling is probably like,
He's
"Can
like,
you
I
guys
don't want to
do-"
talk to that guy.
All right. I don't know where
All
this
right,
guy
who
is.
cares?
He's not on.
Yeah, he
Don't
probably
hear
did
him.
call the phone. I'm guessing.
I don't know what's
Because,
going on with this board right
Yeah, it
now.
went
Sometimes this happens. So
So
Anyway, it's Dave or I should probably like actually tell the story because you guys can't tell anything because you just keep arguing.
you guys don't know the story. You didn't
it's
research.
Johnny. It is Johnny.
It's Johnny.
Can Menendez brothers do you, well, what's going on? We got Johnny. Johnny.
I'm gonna put the hold on the Menendez talk. We got Johnny here. Johnny.
Well, you're gonna.
What does Johnny want to talk about?
You got me edging.
You got see, because I said the same thing as you guys. I said the same thing as you guys. So
no,
I came into work. Listen, I came into work. They're playing Milli Vanilli, and I never. And I was like, wow, this sounds familiar. They're like, oh, it's Milli Vanilli. I'm like, did you know that Milli Vanilli was a lip syncer? And then they're like, no, I didn't. And they're like, we're watching this because of the Menendez brothers. And I said, oh, the guys that killed their parents. And they're like, yeah, but no, but they're also like, and I'm like, I don't know about this. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they just killed their parents. And then I'm like, I don't know. I think Netflix is rewriting this, and then they're like, no, I swear. And I'm like, all right, I'll watch it and I'll get back to you guys, because I was interested, because it's less interesting for them. It's more interesting for me because I grew up around the Menendez brothers. So it's like history's coming back around for us, and we get to like re-examine things. So I was like, all right, I do, because I was thinking of the Versace killing when the guy just murdered Versace.
But did they not kill their parents?
Whoa, look who's jumping so far ahead. I just told you we're going to get to that. They killed their parents. They admitted to killing their parents. Okay.
They had a therapist, right?
So before you just start going ahead, like you know everything, just quiet. You can wait.
It's Donnie's story, you guys.
Can you wait a couple
You
minutes?
told me you wanted to talk about this, so I watched 2020 on it.
You watched the mainstream media.
No,
piece.
I fell asleep halfway through.
That's fine. So Barbara Walters.
And I couldn't watch.
He can still be on your jury.
Yeah, that's fine. No, he can
He's still
be.
qualified.
I mean,
I didn't have an hour to spend on that.
yeah, but
courthouse.
it's fine. I'm. That's why
It was interesting.
the
though.
world.
There were
It's
two female
interesting.
prosecutors.
So,
female.
here's what
The
happened.
mom was
attorneys, right?
terrible. The mom was terrible.
Oh, it was bad. Here's how it started, though.
Who's mom? Who's mom?
The twin.
Oh,
or
their
brother.
moms?
The dad was
Illinois?
and his son's
Yeah,
you know what I mean? A lot of in the
but it starts. This is how it got to me. Like, it's interesting how it just, because when a story dies, it should just die. You know, we don't talk about the Versace killings. Sometimes OJ, but you know, OJ's a huge one. But you know, they just go away unless they're famous. But it's really huge now. But then what happened was in 2021, girls started doing this thing where they're like, I'm in love with a prisoner, and it was like a Britney song, and they're looking up all these hot
those
jail
hot prisoner.
people.
Yeah, I've seen.
And they
I
found
saw
the
that,
Menendez
whatever,
brothers, and they're like,
stupid.
oh, look how hot he is, not knowing at all about the case.
Mm-hmm.
And then some girls got so obsessed with it, they started watching the entire court trials on court TV.
Yeah.
And that's when they're like, whoa.
They fell in love with these characters.
No, they didn't fall in love with the characters. It's like, whoa. This testimony is disgusting pedophilia towards these okay.
Wait. Was this the second trial or first trial?
If you watch the ABC special,
They
you
don't
don't know
put
what the
any of that in
pedophilia
there,
is.
yeah.
You just think. So it's fine.
No. The one that I watched, they just showed him crying, and they said it was all emotional testimony. They didn't mention. They said it was abuse.
Emotional. Because through this you'll try to see like, why aren't they getting to the core issue of this?
So they had a second trial because the first trial there was a it was a tie, right?
It was a draw. Which is amazing to do. If you have a kid,
Two separate jurors,
you have two people that admit that they got guns, went to a house, and killed their parents. That's called premeditated murder. One, you should go to jail immediately. The fact they drew a draw means, whoa, there's a lot of evidence that says this could be manslaughter, because you know when you're in a heightened state of fear for your life as a young child, and you're being terrorized and pressurized. They're being molested since age 6 years old, so that's a young child.
When they committed the murder, they
but then they still lived at the house. Yeah, okay, well we know, but so your moral thing is, so you're saying right now, you're saying, Dave, let's stop this. Even though the dad molested them, the dad doesn't deserve to die. They need to go to jail. This is a closed case. Life in prison. They got molested.
I did not say that.
Oh, so why are you snickering?
You're not going to let me.
I'll let you talk now.
Okay, I did not say that the dad didn't deserve to die.
So what's your snickering like? they were young. What's your point? So the molestation.
Well, you're making your case to try and make them.
What does
sound
molestation do?
Like innocent people that didn't have a choice. They had a choice.
Do you know? Do
kill their
kids think in terms? Do they?
They're not kids.
When you've lived with your parents and they control you and you live in their house, do you have options in life?
Well, apparently Cat Williams did. He just left.
You can run,
but I don't know. I don't know if it was a sexual abuse, but he did run away.
So is this empathetic towards people that are abused?
No,
it's not. Okay, so what happened was they did it, and here's the funny part. Here's two things. This even beyond the evidence, these are some interesting factors. I was telling about the gun. So they said it was a gory murder because there was,
there was five shots.
But
times.
Do you know why they bought a shotgun?
That's a crime of passion.
Do you know why they bought? Oh, dude, they said
because the dad said, if you tell anybody, I'm going to kill you.
No, do you know why they bought shotguns? Shotguns will make a scene more gory. Just have to do with gun laws. They went to the sporting goods store and they said, Brady Bill, you can't get a handgun. They didn't. They just want to end the threat. They didn't want to blow brains all over the place. And the court is like,
did.
Yeah, because they used a shotgun. The only gun they
shot
could get
him
access
5
to.
times.
Right. They unloaded the entire round.
Yeah. So they didn't just.
It's called unloading the entire round. Yeah.
Johnny has a comment about the shotgun. Let's hear it.
Yeah. Okay.
But you admit that when you say it was the most gory murder, you say, did they have the choice at weapons? No, they used the one weapon.
They shot him 5
Got it. You just said that. Okay.
Bring Johnny in.
5 times.
Yeah, because you know what someone does when they're in a threat? They unload the entire thing.
They blew off the back of his head and then shot him 4 more times.
Right. They admitted to all this. You're like saying stuff they admitted to, so you're saying one end of the trial. That's great. Okay, so.
He's playing devil's advocate.
No,
Johnny, let's hear what Johnny has to say.
Johnny has to say about the shotgun. I think he's onto something. Let's
Johnny.
go.
It's better to hold a position in your house rather than try to move around and find the and take up a position and hold a shotgun towards it. You're much more likely to hit.
I know it wasn't a self-defense, as in that's why it's an impossible. The fact that the lady won a hung
so Johnny
jury
had
on that,
he had some technical
not a defensive
advice.
position though. They're not in a defensive position. The parents aren't coming into the house.
They weren't approaching them, right?
Yeah,
they were just watching a movie or something, and
they had come home from watching a movie or
something. And then surprise.
Yeah.
And they shot him while they were on the couch in the
I know
room.
this. That's why it's so incredible. That's why you guys need to think for a second. If okay, whatever.
No, go.
Okay. Think about this for a second, you guys. So why didn't the first trial just get an open and shut case? Because it's so very obvious what you said. They walk in. They knew that they're going to kill them. They open the gun up and start firing away and murder their parents. Yes, closed case. Closed case. I agree with you guys.
Okay.
Shut and close and shut case. So you guys are right, except
but
it wasn't a shut and closed case. It ended up going. It ended up going to a hung jury. How could that be possible?
But don't you think the lawyer has something to do with that?
There must have been so much evidence to why these kids. Young kids molested and groomed since age 6 years old.
Let me ask
had
you
a
this,
crazy fear for their lives. And let
me ask you this. Hold on.
We're interested.
Let me ask you one thing.
What? It's hard to argue with you guys. You're like, okay, I get it. They killed their parents.
I'm listening.
Who was the lawyer?
Get to the point.
Don, who's the lawyer?
I can't get to my point when you just say, nope.
Who was the lawyer?
They robbed banks. Who was the lawyer? Who was
the lawyer?
Some feisty lady. Apparently,
Janet
she's
Shapiro.
a liberal too.
Janet
she
Shapiro?
did a great job. I don't care if she's a liberal
for that
or not.
trial.
She did an incredible job. She did it in the second trial. She blew it so hard. She actually we'll get more into it.
I believe in the second trial.
They did not allow them to put any evidence of abuse.
Yeah.
And they lost it completely.
I know.
But then in the first trial,
I'm not arguing that.
The first trial, they got 0 people to talk for Jose Mendez, the dad. 0 people spoke nicely of him. the brothers, they got 50 plus family members to say the parents, all we saw was terrible, disgusting stuff. These boys were good. The tennis coach said these are the two best brothers in the state. They never bragged once. They never said one thing. They were the most humble. Like the kids were not bad souls.
The 2020 interview I watched. Hold on, let me.
In the world,
they don't focus on the dad enough. The dad was a bad guy.
A good soul that gets revenge in that way. Like we can talk about if they deserve to go to jail, because I actually agree in a sense with you guys, but I would like to get to what the man above would think about this case, because it's interesting. So here's an interesting factor too, though. After they murdered this, so I know you guys are like, he got it, he shot him, there's blood everywhere. Fact is, they did not mean to have a goriest scene. They simply bought a gun.
No, that's not.
Dude,
that doesn't.
If you shoot him with a handgun, there's not going to be all they talked. Will you shut up for a second?
Five shots, dog. That's a crime of passion. That's a crime of passion.
5 shots with a handgun do?
That's still a crime of passion.
You're not saying what 5 shots with a handgun do?
Done. It's 5 shots with a shotgun.
You keep repeating your same point. I don't think it's getting better by saying if 5 shots. Like, okay, all right, listen, stop.
It's a gory scene.
Exactly. So the key word is gory. Listen. So all the defense, the prosecution says is gory scene. There's blood fragments everywhere. There's skull over here. There's skull over here. Well, yeah, that's what happens when you take 5 shots. Had he took 5 shots with a handgun, skull matter would not be.
Handgun and the
I don't. It's not a good point.
Well, it just has to do with gun law. It's one point. There's many, but you just listen. There's going to be many points if you just.
All right, let's move on to the next point.
I'm waiting.
I told you. Well, on each one, can you just like?
I agree with you on a lot of stuff. The dad is a monster.
Second one, after they murdered the parents, the police were like, "So what did you guys just come?" They said, "No, we stayed in the house. We thought someone was going to come." They literally shot 12 shots. And no cops were called in the neighborhood. No. So if you're so bad, why are you waiting in your house for the cops to come? That must have been some sort of relieving, like, emotional thing where they're just like, "It's done. Now take me away. I don't care."
And the cops didn't even assume that the kids had done it.
They left. Then and after the cops didn't come, they left and they did do all this, and
they watched the crime scene, because they didn't.
But the fact is, like, okay, you can talk about all these things.
Wait,
but
if they bought that shotgun, though, isn't there a trace that was their shotgun?
They picked up all the shells. They picked up all the shells, and they didn't do a test for gunfire.
I think one of the brothers ended up turning himself in. Right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Is that so guilty now? Oh, no. We got a person who says
no. It's good of him to do that.
Exactly. And it's also good to stay at a crime scene. Like that's something that's different.
No, but they did. They did go to the movie theater and have an alibi.
They tried to get like a Batman ticket, and
I got no problem with the brothers.
That's nothing wrong with that. So then they come back
shit with their dead parents for 3 hours.
They didn't try to run.
Once again,
they owned up to it.
But also, let's talk about how it's exaggerated by the other side. So yes, it's a brutal scene, but as I said, a handgun. If it's pop, 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 it's not. They kept saying
it's not
these brothers were terrible. There's fragments here, bro. They just pulled the trigger. Whatever trigger caused that would have been the same. If they shot him with a pellet gun, it would have been 5 pellets in the man's arm. No, yes, it is.
Stop with that.
But when you see,
do they have to? Is it like a 2-shell shotgun, or is it like
how many pumping?
You never shot shotgun.
It's not like it's automatic.
Bro.
It's not an automatic shotgun where you just.
No, they admitted to that. I'm just trying to say but that's what I would say. Like,
every time you shoot it with a shotgun,
what scene's more gory? What scene's more? I never talked about the premeditated part. I already said to you. It was premeditated. I said to you 10 times.
Okay.
The dad also had a pizza parlor.
So what's more gory of a scene? If you're using the word gory, what scene is more gory? A handgun shooting or a shotgun shooting?
What? Okay.
Answer it. Just answer it quickly.
No,
What's
okay.
more gory, a handgun or
You
a
can make a little
shotgun
point
shooting
here.
is more gory. There you go.
5 times.
You're right. And 5 shots with a handgun would have been much less. I said premeditated. I said they admitted to murdering their parents. So, okay. I'd rather you guys just watch this so we could be agreeable.
What's
if
more?
you guys actually watch both sides, I wouldn't have to do this because we'd be agreeable. Now I'm trying to convince you who didn't do any research on it, and I got to go all through this. But
No.
We're going to do it anyway.
You're just trying to discredit your any detractors from you.
I was in the
by
same
saying
boat
that.
as you guys.
You're
so-
assuming what boat I meant.
You already said what boat.
No, I didn't
You and
say.
James did from the
No, I didn't. You assumed what boat I was.
I'm
in.
assuming based on your
What's
research.
what boat am I in?
They killed their parents.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm in that boat too.
Yeah, you said they killed their
And
parents. So.
they did it maliciously, and then they're spoiled.
Oh wait, let's
I didn't say it was
get to the.
maliciously.
So we were talking.
Story.
We were
It
talking
is
about
Don't worry
grooming.
about you not doing
I
homework.
said it was a crime of passion.
So D, let me tie this in for you guys. So we were talking about grooming with Horatio Sanchez,
Yeah.
and then we're okay. The president is
Horatio.
what did I say? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Fellatio Sands.
We're gonna get into this.
So we're talking about the grooming. So what is grooming? Is that when
What is grooming?
you're
Something
getting?
I don't want to talk about. Ralph.
So you don't want to talk
Shaving your your daughter. Oh wait,
So
sorry.
we're gonna get into that.
about your boy, or
We'll say what.
so they were groomed. Do you think? Is that what they were saying?
They were more than
So they were.
groomed.
It was.
They
Was
were-
it his father? Was there other people in the
it was the
industry?
dad.
They were giving the Hollywood
dad-
stamp of approval.
The dad was a Cuban immigrant
Yeah.
who came over. And
Listen to these
no,
liberals
who,
over
no, who
here.
came
He got a
over?
business degree.
No, who
Rich
came
and
over and
Cuban.
started working in Hollywood. I'm assuming he's a communist working in
No,
Hollywood.
he grew up in.
He was so
He
so
maybe
you know
met
what?
his wife
He
in
was a
Illinois.
Che Guevara lookalike.
No, not enough emphasis was put on this dad's background in the 2020 thing that I saw. They just kind of glanced over certain aspects,
Yeah,
like the dad's
they
Because he
didn't
probably
know-
implicated
they didn't
a
know
lot
too
of
much
big
about
Hollywood
it either.
people.
The dad was much like older, and like he came from Cuba at 16 or something.
But the mom would like walk around naked and drunk around the kids
Oh,
at like
it's
in a
worse than that.
and she knew about the molestation.
Yeah, but here, let me
She knew
just set
about
up more
the
stuff to
essay.
talk about. These are little details that are interesting.
It's
So-
fine. Just
just
hurry
go
up.
with it.
Make the
Talk.
case that the molestation was so bad that they had to.
You
It
don't want
That's
to talk
where-
about it
See,
anymore?
You think that does?
I'm assuming that about
Is it
you.
possible? Wait. What about this possibility that the father shot the wife? The kids found that, shot the dad, and then
No,
had the
that didn't-
pride not to
The kids already fessed up. They
his
did
dad.
it.
happened.
The
So
kids,
yeah, the pride not to
So
turn his
after
dad,
they
even
got
after all
caught,
that.
Because they were mind
Let's
controlled.
talk about the main thing. So we're saying the frivolous
Well-
spending, but like to me, I'd say, yeah, it was frivolous.
Well, that's what they said that the detectives led them
if one of your
to
rich friends like
investigate
if something
them.
happens to them, they're not going to start living like paupers after that happens. They continue to live their lifestyle.
Well, that's what ticked off the detectives,
But-
though.
Yeah, no,
That's what they
got
said.
them caught. But also, like, why would you want to like savor and hold on to your parent? Money doesn't mean anything to rich people. Like when poor people see that, they think it's crazy. But to them, it's like, well, it didn't bring me happiness. And
Well, these guys weren't made it,
Well,
though.
here's
They
the
were
thing.
just the kids.
I didn't think the spending was
I don't
crazy.
think that part even matters.
No, but here's the thing. I didn't think it was that crazy, even what they presented. I'm like, well, he got tennis lessons, so that requires work, and that's not like a lavish gift on yourself. James said tennis is for rich people. You're a socialist, but that's okay. We can talk about it later. No, and then
Those little shorts, you know, those little shorts.
Two businesses, so I was like, okay, they didn't like freaking like go like lavish, so that's fine. That wasn't much to me. But here's some things that happened that were odd. Like, so the brothers never mentioned the abuse. They did not mention the abuse.
Not even to the
anybody.
therapist.
They didn't go out and go, I got abused. I got abused.
They mentioned it to their cousin. They wrote a letter
their
to their
kids.
cousin.
Yeah, their kids.
Yeah.
But they never said that to anyone in court. And anytime after the murder, they never mentioned the abuse.
They were just crying.
And so, like, that's not a person. Like, so even though the
Maybe they
murder
made it
ended,
up.
even though the murder had ended, they're still kind of living in that life. And like, what happened was the kid, the younger Eric, they're so smart and wise but they do believe the psychiatrist when the psychiatrist says, you can tell me anything. And he was like suicidal. The son was suicidal before the thing and after.
Doctor privilege.
And so he said, like, I'm hurting.
Patient
contract. 6 months later, he's like, I killed my parents. Like, and then the psychiatrist was like, thought he knew why. He's like, gave him all these reasons, and he's like, no, and he wouldn't say why. He's like, why'd you kill your parents? You're an arrogant narcissist. This, and he's like, no, like he just wouldn't say it. And then finally, he just broke and said, like, because like he was. So that happened.
What did he say? No. What did he say?
That he was essaying.
These guys
that he
would have
was
taken.
assaulted
They
as a
would have
boy.
literally taken this abuse to their grave. Like, this is how set these kids were on this abuse. They would have taken it to their grave.
That sounds like a real abused victim. Then,
Yeah,
huh?
it was like so, but it just.
What do they call
that's
that?
why the self-defense
the fear.
does get closer to
petrified.
working, because when you can show someone is in such a heightened state of fear and they are young.
Stockholm
I don't care what
syndrome,
you
yeah.
guys say. You guys were nothing at 18. No one was. Yeah, I mean,
You were nothing.
and the parents did everything for them, so they were even more held
right.
back. Like the brother, like so.
So that gave them the free reign to kill their parents.
No,
So what should see what I don't like about this whole Menendez thing is it's especially trending on TikTok because TikTok is poison. It's that they're trying to make it okay for you to kill your parents when they're not being cool enough to you.
Then what would be
I never said any of that.
what would be the
promotes-
proper sentencing then? What would be proper sentencing? Death, life, 30 years.
Because the case is interesting because you ask yourself.
The dad should have had his day in trial. They should have. They should have reported it to the authorities.
I'm pretty sure they did. And his team, their school counselor, I think.
But you're telling an abused person where all these behaviors will never align with what you say. Like in the world of abuse, it'll never align with that little scenario. It almost never
What
will.
are you talking about?
Well, where the kid goes, I'm just going to go report this, even though my dad said, hey, if I ever find out you report this to authorities, I'm going to gut you. I have criminal friends. I have mafia friends. We're going to kill you, you 16-year-old boy. We're going to murder you if you find out what I did to you. Oh, it's that
Okay.
easy, huh? They just go to the police because they're independent 18-year-olds or 17. They just go to the police. So it's a little
Why
harder
not?
than you think.
Why
They
not?
didn't.
They should have.
Rather be
Well,
tried
'cause
by
the
12 than
dad
carried
is
by
there.
6.
Because if you just what was sad too was the kids were like, I love my dad. Like when he invited me into the room for massages and all this, like I was happy because I got to spend time with him. Then the penis massages started happening, and he's like, "This
So
is different.
what? The
This is
P
different."
word?
And he said it was like he's like
The
from
pen-
age
the pen-
before age 11.
Penne pasta.
Yeah.
Before age 11,
Yeah, the
he didn't
penny
mind
pasta
when
is
dad
dad.
did the penis massages. He had no idea what it was.
Is that
He had
the
no idea
Swedish?
what it was. But the dad did say, don't. The dad told them this is what he used on them, and this is why the kids can't pick this up. It was like
Make a pizza.
It was a Spartan training. It was like some sort of Greco-Roman training for the warriors.
The
So
Spartans did
first,
that.
I start by giving you a strong penis, Dave, with these massages, and then you're going to be a real strong tennis player.
Okay,
It starts with the
stop.
light.
All right,
But you
all right,
boys
all
want to talk about grooming?
No, okay.
It starts with the light.
You can't be
Listen,
so
He's trying to get you to kill him right now. He's trying to get you to
Okay,
kill
so
him.
Because
it's
let's
gross.
not
Yeah,
say
but that's what
someone
happens.
might
So
be-
Give him a demo, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
The thing is, you got to show it from all sides, though, because the final.
as
And don't
disgusting.
assume
No,
you know what I think in the end.
no.
I'm just trying to lay
Here's
out the
what I.
case.
No, you're doing all the assuming. It's fine.
Oh, am I?
But what do you think is more disgusting? Like just mental image. The mental image of the blown out pedophile who got shot 5 times with a shotgun, the grotesque, brutal crime scene, or just picturing what happened between that son
What's
and
worse,
that
the
dad.
son and the worst?
I feel like the gross touching, the pedophile touching is worse than the shotgun.
They had those images in court too.
Like,
the 12
so
jurors.
if you're looking at like
could
the
see that.
grand justice in life of what I think is worse, I think the touching of the boy is worse than
Look at him flip-flop.
than the shotgun.
Look
No,
at him
no,
flip-flop.
no,
What's the sentence? Recommended sentence.
No, just
It's
if
the
you're
only way
thinking
you can
about
really-
just the crime. If you're thinking about just the crime, I think that the touching of the kids is worse than the murder.
No, murdering your parents is the worst crime.
No, is
But
it?
if your parents love you, if your parents love you, it's the worst crime. If they terrorize you, but even then,
But you
it
shouldn't
was-
be killing your parents, and that's I
No.
think the bad
But
thing is
let's wait. Let's wait.
this whole case is gonna make this. I swear to
Sure.
God, it's gonna start a trend where people are gonna think it's cool.
They're already
a
trying to do
TikTok
that.
trend to
So,
kill your
yeah.
parents.
There's also on Fortnite
There's gonna be
game-
a TikTok trend to kill your parents.
Listen
after
to this.
Maybe
On
those-
that,
maybe
I'm
there-
calling it.
Maybe there's going to be
calling it now.
There's going to be a TikTok
Let me
trend.
let me
about
tell you guys.
pedophilia.
There already is.
Listen,
we
hey,
have it on all the
pass it-
influencers
why-
are doing
Why
that now.
wouldn't that be a trend?
Pass a law to give pedos the wood chipper. I'll sign
And
it.
just to remind you, just to fast forward to 2024 to the Netflix
Dave, I think
special.
you are right though about it being a trend because
They're gonna
in
make
the
it a
video
trend.
game. They're seeing it in video games
Okay,
too.
just
They're
relax,
trending.
you
um,
future tellers.
They're having in Fortnite. They're having this character. It's like a devil character from Marvel, and you go and you give him your life, and he gives you a random gun. So you're making a contract.
Yeah,
with the devil. So they're trying to say, hey, it's okay to do
And free pizza.
Make
You
this
get free
contract,
pizza, too.
and you can raise one of your dead teammates if you give them like a lot of your life.
Is Johnny still on the phone?
Johnny is still on the
See,
phone.
and
Yeah.
so
Johnny. Okay, so
Johnny Tutami.
Johnny, you talk. Let's take a break. Let's let Johnny
no,
talk.
we're gonna finish this.
No,
case,
Don
we
needs to
already
talk.
opened it.
Don,
we already
hey.
opened this thing up. So
Close the
second
case.
thing, it's gonna take a little bit to close it, but I just want you guys. Hey, you're gonna find out that we're
So
not
what's-
on disagreeing sides. I just want to lay everything out for you because
So lay
we
it out
both
on
lived
us,
in that
big
time.
dog.
And I said the same thing. I said they're a bunch of rich.
Tell us about this
Okay,
grooming
so the second thing
pedophilia
is,
stuff.
they didn't admit to that, and then they did not. The last thing, okay, they've been hiding this secret their whole lives. The last thing they wanted to do was go on to this new thing called Court TV, which shows every single case live on national television, and explain to these people who they've never told anyone that their dad was basically molesting them,
Mhm.
and then that's the reason. And the way
So he came out on Court TV and said that.
yeah, that was where the lady set up the best case. She set it up.
Yeah,
They rested their defense, and then she brought out all the pedophilia stuff. And and then the one thing, so he'd get the little massages, and so the dad would say to them, it's like a way to make you a stronger Roman warrior. And
Okay.
He always massaged them and all this stuff. And then what happened is when he was 11, one night the parents got in a fight. He was becoming of age, and the sex became like brutal, like it was like oral, and then he
I know what I'm gonna say. He had a phase.
It was called the knees
The
phase,
knees
where everything
phase.
was little fun massaging, and all of a sudden it became violent. Like you get on your knees, and he had to always get on his knees from there on until like age 16 or like it was happening.
And they were saying there were some
Bro, his
doctor visits.
confession-
That's so
yeah, the
sick.
doctor said that he had damage in his throat
Oh,
from like
stop.
The back of his throat.
So you when you see the kids on TikTok, they have a fresh set of eyes, and they're like, "What the hell is this, dude?" The whole
Mhm.
nation laughed at these kids and said, "You're murderers," and sent them off. There's more to this. Like this isn't right. So like
Mhm.
they're doing that, and like, but the crazy part was their confessions about it were so like heartbreaking and real. They're like he kept he would orgasm, the kid would, because the dad would just basically whack, and like he was so confused, and my dad kept calling me gay and calling him the F word, and like he's like, and then the whole time, and then he's like, how'd you answer that, like Tim? He's like, I didn't answer. He's like, what'd you say in your head? He's like, well, then what the hell are you? Because like the dad's like doing it to him, so it's so confusing, and he's getting like a girlfriend, but they'd also like but that's not the point. Like I do agree, but what we should like in life, in the bigger picture, outside the court systems, we actually idolize what they did. going in. Like we see those videos of the kid that takes the law into his own hands. He goes and he goes into the courtroom and just shoots the pedophile dead, and we all go, yeah, hell yeah! Like we like what the Menendez brothers did, like in a way. Like
that's what the influencers are
when
doing.
When you find that out, you go as a man, you're like, oh yeah, like that's like man stuff right there. You take care of your business, the old fat like you. And then so with the mom, what happened was after all this brutal stuff, he came out of the room one time when he was like 16, and then the mom was there, and the mom's like, "What happened?" And he said, "You don't know. It's okay. You wouldn't understand." And she said, "I wouldn't understand. What do you think? I'm stupid? I know everything that goes on in there. I know what's. You think I'm dumb?" She like turned it on him, and then he said, "From that moment, I just knew they were a team. Like it was a team. We're going against a team, and like it was." We're going against them. Like that's why, because a lot of people said, well, how did you kill your mother? How'd you kill your mother? You killed your
why
father,
would you kill your mother?
Why would you possibly kill your sweet mother?
They said it was more of convenience, though. I thought.
John, I think
the A&E version said it was a convenience.
It might have been. It might have been all the gnarly, but I don't think I want to live in a country where you can't kill the person that's molesting you.
However,
okay, so hold on, yeah. So I believe that the stuff you're saying almost makes me want to kill the guy.
Exactly.
And if the person that he's doing that to can't kill them, then I don't know what's going on.
But on K2H, hold up.
Hold on, TikTok.
I gotta say this though, we don't condone any killing on this station. K2H.
No, we don't. No,
or you or I, or molestation. And actually, we're gonna play a rape PSA too.
Self-defense is fine.
Yeah,
well, that's more of eye for an eye back in the day.
Such a difficult case to prove self-defense because you literally have them coming into the house premeditated and killing him in cold blood.
All right, so what did we? So
that's hard, and so it was very impressive that she got it to a draw, to a mistrial in the first one. But that also said, man, these
there's
jurors
something more,
dude. His testimony, you just got to look that up. Don't watch. I never watched the Netflix show, which is. We'll talk about that later. That is garbage.
Well, we got to talk about it now if you want to say anything. We're running out of time here, Don.
And I watched,
I watched the A&E one, and it said that his mother was killed out of convenience because she's an alibi, loose ends.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it does. No one will know that stuff.
The mom was. I think the mom was killed because she knew and she did nothing about it.
I know another Illinois mom, and she's kind of crazy. So,
well, hang on. I want to just finish the Menendez stuff.
I don't know if there's something going on in Illinois with the water, and
I don't know.
Why don't you land the plane, Don?
But
these Mayans
also
too.
Something to think about is not too many people have the courage to do that. Most abusers. It's ironic though, because most abusers. It was weird. I do think there's some sort of divine thing in this. Like these kids are like. Almost like fallen angels because
that's a take.
Not fallen, but something. There's some purpose to them out there.
There has to be a purpose.
There has to be a purpose because
there's always a purpose.
Two things. One thing, the dad was raising them to be really tough and like warriors. So at the same time, he was draining them of all like their confidence.
He was making them tough.
He was making them tough and confident, and they're winning tournaments.
That's right.
They're very smart. So like. When you become of age, you become your own self. And then they're like, yeah, my dad taught me to do tennis, but I'm great at tennis because I swing the racket. You start to think that, no, Tom Brady doesn't say Bill Belichick make me great. He knows he threw the throws. So the guys are like, they're confident, and they're like, no one pushes me around. Like, I'm a man. Like, and eventually, it came to a point where two men did a man thing, and they're like, I don't know what to do, but we're gonna go and blow their brains out. Like they don't do. So they created a these kids are monsters.
Hurt people.
You know what the kid called himself as a superhero? Hurt Man. It's so sad. Yeah, he's like, I'm hurt, man.
It is
I have pain, and that's sick, right?
How do you say this? Cyclical. Yes, it's a cyclical story because, like you were also saying,
don't suck.
No, but you were saying that there was another director that was painting the picture of him as being gay, right?
Yeah, no,
Can you
the
talk about that?
prosecutor did. We can talk.
No, because
so the prosecutor was like, well, that's
No, I'm trying
that's
to
the
say
Netflix guy. We'll talk about the
the Netflix guy, the
just
director.
wait. We are going to get into that because the Netflix.
Well,
I didn't even watch the Netflix. So
let's come full circle. I want to.
We're not there yet.
You're not
I'm
there.
gonna-
Okay, speed it up. Let's go.
yeah.
Edging right
Speed it up. But so,
got 15 minutes.
But then also, I do want to acknowledge like the legal system is kind of smart in a way because like they are monsters because we don't know. I don't know. We know that there was abuse. Maybe it wasn't as bad. Maybe there definitely was abuse, but we'll never know the exact story. We'll never
Right.
know. Like let's just say they got molested. They did. You can tell by the testimony, but I can see why you don't want to release them into the world, like because they are monsters. Like the dad made them monsters. They have
He
the
did.
ability to kill.
Mhm.
They could be in terrible relationships. And I am actually glad they were happy. It's so sad because watch the Barbara. They were happy when they got in prison. Can you be any more prison proof than Artie going through all that stuff?
Yeah.
For one.
Mm.
And guess what? They're more terrorized in their own home than in prison. In
Yeah.
prison, they just were left alone.
Yeah.
And then they said it. They said, I was happy to be in prison. Prison was okay.
Didn't
It was
they
fine.
even get
Yeah.
married
They even
in
knew
that
there's all
prison?
that. They even knew that like they felt bad about what they did. Like I don't know if that was part of the defense. That's one
Yeah.
thing I'm a little like
Yeah.
you should show remorse for your defense. But they did feel bad. Like they were so confused. They loved everyone wants to love their parents. That's a problem
Yeah.
with nature. We naturally look for a loving mom and dad. It's just nature, like, and that's what we're led by. And then so they wanted to keep that, but daddy kept doing terrible things, And so ultimately though, I think they were destined to go to prison because in prison they'll always be angels. Like that's where they'll be an angel because imagine if they got away with that. They could.
You hear his testimony about not knowing what night his dad would come into the room.
Oh yeah,
and he'd just be worried. Every night he'd live in fear that it would happen.
Exactly.
Like
That's
that
the terror.
is just constant fear you're living under.
So that's
Like,
why they tried the
so
self-defense.
a little cell isn't too bad. A little prison cell.
prison cell where you're
you're
away
it
from
locks the
terror.
bad man out.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And also like so this could have gone like say we released the brothers and then they went and then they like ended up killing their girlfriend or something because they just have such terrible stuff in them, and then we justified. We said, no, you're right. Keep your behavior up. You do what you keep doing. But society needs to crack down on that behavior. They did take it too far.
They took it too
But we can
far.
also say in the real world, we accept it. We accept what you did. No one
Yeah.
wants those people on this earth. We don't want them. Like if they weren't going to get the death penalty, then so be it. They gave it to them. But
We
there was
should-
a chance. But it's
We
good
should
they
make
said
like really, really nice prisons,
I
like
was thinking
almost hotels for people that murder pedophiles.
I was thinking
like,
tours.
Like
I was
pedophile
thinking
murderers should just like get put up in like the Ritz of
I was
all,
thinking, like,
the Ritz Carlton of all prisons.
I was thinking we create like
That's what I'm done on.
Indian
I like what you
reservations,
guys
like
think.
free land.
This is the alternate.
But here's the thing. If
I
they
might
would have
do should be able to do-
if they
you know.
would have been released, if they would have been like
Put these
released
guys
back
up,
into
yeah.
normal society, they could have potentially done that and just ruined all their dignity. They could have lost all their dignity and been as bad like as their parents. But, but while they're in jail, like the devil can't get to them. Like the
Yeah.
devil might, but they can only be angels in prison. You can only so they can
Well,
only
the devil
help
could
people.
get them wherever they
can,
are.
of course, but they can only help people. They can only like by the restrictions of. So that's what they've been doing for like the last 20 years. And
It's God's plan.
One of their
It's
messages,
God's
yeah,
plan.
exactly. And one of their messages was to like
To the Tate brothers.
to
Stay-
give back more. And like they said that's not the way to
Stay
do
out
it.
of jail, Tate brother.
But when you think about it,
You're
like,
not built like this.
when you think about it, man, why would you?
Yeah, I mean, they make the Tate brothers stories seem like child's play, like a little lunchbox.
I
Like,
agree with what you say about this hopefully
His dad
doesn't
didn't do enough to
justify-
prepare them for jail.
He could have done more.
He could have done more. Maybe he did, but
They can handle it.
Well, that was a nice little True Detective story.
It was a nice True Detective story. But like also so then what happened is, so it got famous and TikTok. This was like 3 years ago. All the young kids do it. It seems like Hollywood doesn't like that. They said, I don't like this little movement that goes against the peace stuff. So they came out with their own series.
the Netflix one.
Where guess what if you go watch this, I don't know who this director is, but Ryan something. I don't think this
Come on and say it.
I don't think this is the best person to tell a story about male on
Why?
male
Because
pedophilia.
maybe he is also
I
into
think-
males. Is that what you're trying to say?
I think so this was a story by he's a gay guy and he's writing the story about male on male pedophilia, and in it the brothers are like kissing and like
Getting
like,
close.
so they're trying to make them out to be like
Like they
this
love to have
natural
gay
thing.
sex.
Yeah,
or,
I think they're trying to say like
The Menendez
homosexuality is
Menendez
more natural than
brothers
heterosexuality.
were doing each other. Is what?
The dad forced Lyle. He said he had a little thing with a toothbrush. I don't want to get into it, but he
Okay.
said you do that to Aaron.
No, that they're murderers because this is actually appropriate behavior. That they didn't deserve to be killed because like what they were doing is like appropriate behavior to their children.
Yeah,
I think
to their
that's part of the message too. I mean, I feel it in a lot of the media out there, not directly, but to normalize it at this amount nowadays, you got to kind of ask yourself like, what is the
intention?
But Lyle said he hated the portrayal. He's like, I thought you guys, everyone's over that. And then this is how the guy fired back. He said, blah blah blah. We're trying to tell both sides. He didn't tell enough, but he said, and we're trying to raise awareness for male sexual abuse. Male sexual abuse is an odd term to use for that. It seems to sound like, I think the word they're looking for starts with a P on what this is.
Yeah.
It's called pedophilia. It's not male sexual abuse.
Yeah.
It's about taking a child psychologically, mentally, and physically.
So they cut
messing
out
them
that. Okay,
over.
I
It has
see.
to do with
Yeah.
the
They always try to
sexual
soften the
abuse. Yeah.
language.
Male sexual abuse. This is a story
Yeah,
about
no.
pedophilia and messing up a child's
They're not
mind.
minor attracted
Yes.
people.
So they're trying
They're
to
not
normalize this.
yeah.
Like,
or whatever.
Yeah, we know
Yeah.
about male sexual abuse. It's one of our favorite abuses. No, they don't say that, but they do like it. male sexual abuse is actually their
Come on,
preference.
okay,
They're like,
okay.
What do you want tonight? I'll take male sexual abuse.
Okay.
well, you know that help
Pedophilia is not.
help is available at the National Sexual Assault Hotline, 1-800-656-4673. You can
Nice.
chat online in the
Exactly.
24 hours at the online portal. Like, don't deal
And
with this. Get some
listen,
help. Talk to somebody
Call
about
in
it.
here. We'll get the shotguns. We'll take care of it ourselves. We'll do it. The
Don't
boys
kill
will
your
do it.
parents or
No,
your
screw
boyfriend
that.
or your girlfriend or whoever.
We'll be like the Ghostbusters.
But I think at least talking about it with somebody, but at least
animals.
We'll put them in like a little trap at the
I don't think.
trap.
I think one of the problems with these kids when they're children is that they didn't really have somebody comfortable to talk to. They tried. There's stories of them going to their school counselor and couldn't really communicate it. Like it was just too hard to communicate this type of thing.
Oh, there were
The teachers knew too. Like the
The
teachers
school
knew
counselors
something
probably
was
liked
wrong.
Yeah, everyone knew that
They knew something was
the dad
wrong.
was just crazy,
Yeah.
but they didn't know it's like all the way that deep.
So maybe just talking to somebody, and it'll
cousins
be the
are
next step
screaming
of
and
like.
moaning in the room.
yeah.
The dad would lock the door.
So
And,
don't
like-
deal with this type of thing. Not at all. Not one bit. I mean, get some help. I don't know what you can
If
do.
you know
Call this number.
anybody or think anybody's going through this, see something, say something.
True.
Yeah.
And you're right about the TikTokers. They don't quite have the wisdom yet because that does lead to a bad precedent.
Yeah.
One is like you can say, "Oh, I was like." I think theirs was, dude. Just watch their testimony, though, man. It's really
Probably
the-
heartbreaking.
The reason it's so riveting because the TikTok kids they saw like just pure emotion coming.
Well,
out of that.
that's how
It's
kids are
incredible.
taught to learn these days. They're taught to learn through their emotional side rather than logic and reasoning.
True, true.
So my logical brain goes to
Don't kill.
this is bad. Don't break the law. Don't kill your parents. You know, it's
It's true.
setting a bad precedent.
But it's
on the other side,
too.
the other side is the crime is so horrible.
Yeah,
that you just want to blow them away yourself.
you do, and
Yeah.
I do think there is a case for defense and manslaughter. So here's what they could have if they would have been allowed manslaughter, they would have had like 22 years max to serve,
Right.
11 per parent,
Right.
and that's fine. But even that, I do think for some reason, I think the way it's playing out currently is maybe they should have got. That's not for me to decide.
Well,
I don't know, but
say they took their parents to court and didn't murder them, and the parents got convicted, the dad would have went to upstate. He would have wished that he was dead because they would have probably
he probably
beat
just
the.
killed himself though.
They put it. Those guys would have beat him to like pedos in jail are not. Like I think I think our society wants to normalize it, but if you stick one of these guys in like in a penitentiary,
prison,
like they're pretty much
dead.
dead meat. Yeah.
But
So,
one thing, I do agree. But they probably would have. Yeah. But one thing though, it's like I forget my point. Never mind.
and if you know somebody that's going through this, definitely report it to the police. If you know somebody
CPS,
that like is grooming or trying to do weird stuff, definitely report it. I mean, we don't
And
want
if
this in
you're
our
getting groomed
communities.
As an adult, you're just borderline retarded. And you should go something's wrong with you.
And don't be confused by.
I have no sympathy for any groomed
I'm
adults.
35 years old and I'm being groomed by an older man.
I just got a toothbrush stuck up me.
Well, you're counting knots. Trying to get your boat
He told
speed
me
by
that's how
counting
you brush
knots.
your teeth.
He
said you
invited
gotta
me.
clean your inside too.
He invited me on his boat. He gave me a toothbrush.
All right, gentlemen. Well,
You just reminded me. That's another part about why these brothers that you just reminded me.
That's what I'm here for.
last one. Let's go.
The spokesman, like they were almost sent. Like their existence is so important because the way they spoke about it. Most victims of pedophilia are literally like inbred. Someone you don't want them on the court stand. Like I don't know what happened to me. You're like okay. This person deserves it. Like there's a level of sympathy. But when you heard the kids, they're articulate. They're everything they talk about. They're very articulate. They're smart. They can answer questions. They're on top of it. But then so they're like, wow, these are confident young boys. You talk about the pedophilia, they break. Their head drops. They're like, it just breaks them. You're like, oh my god. But
I've known people growing up. Yeah, it was terrible.
But when they spoke,
Absolutely
you're
terrible.
like, wow, like these are just regular kids. Like this kid would have been just a regular boy. Like he's like this stuff that happened to him is like bad. Like but they were the best people. Like they were the best spokesman for abuse. Like they're handsome too. So like,
they
everyone's
said
like-
that they regretted it. They said that
They
they
did.
wish they didn't do it.
They cried
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
They cried. They bawled. Like,
Mhm.
dude, it's like you're confused because you want to love your parents.
The
Like,
younger brother was distraught because he couldn't believe the older brother had done it. Right?
They both did it.
Oh, they both
Yeah,
did
they did
it.
it together.
They had to
one
do it.
after the other. The
Was
younger
that- is
one
that
shot
true?
first.
Well, I think the younger brother had to follow.
They came back to back with guns, and he just shot. He just shot.
The brother
because-
didn't want to
Oh,
kill his mom. Is that what it was? He
there's
said, "I wouldn't do," or no, he said he wouldn't kill the therapist because after he blurted to the
They had
therapist,
no- they
the
had
brother's
no-
like, "Why are you telling him?"
No, but they had no.
And then the brother's like, "I'm gonna have to kill him now."
Yeah,
And
that's
he's
why
like,
he could. But that was never
He's
on,
like,
on audio.
"I'm not gonna do it."
It wasn't. That one is spectacle, but it also shows like, hey, they could be monsters. Maybe
No, and after you kill a parent like matricide or patricide, like it changes you. It's hard for the
Yeah.
human mind to live with that.
They were put
and
in.
so prison is the best
Well,
place for these people.
let's go to the Wyandotte. Did you guys hear about the mother? The mother they in the Wendy's they opened up just the other day ago because the kids the mother lost his son in Wyandotte to a stabbing.
Yeah.
You heard about that,
Well, let's
right?
not talk about wine.
No, Wyandotte. What's going on in Wyandotte?
I want to
But
finish, so I do want to tell you.
Oh, we're going to legal ID.
oh, hold on, we gotta go. It's time. We gotta come back.
Oh, don't go to. Cancel it.
Story.
Does it automatically
we gotta
just
do
play
this.
it?
just writing the
No,
name of
don't
the
play
one
it.
that loves you over and
I want to say
over
one
again.
last point.
And if you were doing that last one, you'd be writing.
Okay, say it while you do the Lady Gaga. Say it right now. Go, go.
There's one other thing to think about. Some people, they hate the parents so much, they go, well, they should have even done more. They should have gone in and tortured them and done all this stuff. And then it's, but then it's like, yeah, they would be worse. But that's why there's defense to how they killed them. They simply just like unloaded the round and then they just left. That was it. Like they just wanted to end it. Like they wanted they didn't want to go in and get back at the dad.
It
and,
was
like, tie
it
him
was
up
a
and
crime of passion.
It was a crime of,
It was a crime
like,
of passion, but understandable.
So it's one of the greatest cases because you got legal, moral stuff.
Thanks for sharing.
Let's
that.
put on the PSA for the
Rape-free zone. PSA. Everybody be safe on campus.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tune in next week.
I should have came earlier for the.
Came in honest.
He said I led him on. He said I asked for it because my skirt was too short. He said I wanted it. I'm afraid no one would believe me if I told anyone. Everyone likes him at school. I don't know who to talk